Well. I've been having some technical difficulties for the last 45 minutes, so I couldn't get on. But the Lord has blessed me to get on, so let's get on. The legal tampering has officially started, and we are calling this a frenzy. I don't know if this is necessarily going to be a free agency frenzy for the Dallas Cowboys. In actuality, the Cowboys may be in a frenzy because rather than gaining players, we've lost a huge player. We have lost a huge player for the Dallas Cowboys. And this is telling me something that the Dallas Cowboys, I don't know exactly what the plan is, but I think they knew this was probably going to happen. That Jordan Lewis is a casualty of free agency. And we got to really be happy for Jordan Lewis because the Cowboys have kind of been stringing Jordan Lewis along, not giving them long-term deals, always keeping them on the short-term deals. And you can tell for Jordan Lewis, this was not about, at least in my estimation, I do not believe the Jordan Lewis deal is about winning. And this is what I was saying about free agency. People need to understand something. Free agency is the football business. Free agency isn't about going in and breaking down things to see what these players look like unless you're looking at the day 3 guys or stuff like that. But as far as the big name free agents, the guys who we know have performed, it's not a matter of the ability. We know the ability there. It's a matter of how much do they want to play for? How much do they want to make? And how much are they willing to take? And the older players, they have to decide, am I going for the chip or am I going for the check? Where's the balance? Jordan Lewis, I believe, decided he was going for the check, and I have no problem with it. The Cowboys should have done better by Jordan Lewis. But obviously they felt like Jordan Lewis was expendable. So it is what it is. But again, let's get started. Let me get my greeting in. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come in, please hit that like button. If you hadn't subscribed, please do. As we're going to talk all things Cowboys and maybe a few things just all around the NFL. Let me get some greetings in, and then we're going to get started. Get right or get left. What's going on? Roger, what's going on? Neo, what's going on? Jay Recruiter, my man, what's going on? I hope you need to drop some facts on us as usual. Don Jefferson, what's going on? David J. Let me see what my man Don't Know said. He said you're more right than Neo. Don't expect any trades. Expect some movement when it comes to the second wave of free agency. No big splashes. Just proactive. Man, I'm telling you, bro, I told us to temper our expectations. I told us to temper our expectations, man. And, we had people, trying to talk about all of this stuff about, I don't know, people just talking about these big-time players and we had Devontae Adams was never in the plans for the Dallas Cowboys. Devontae Adams was never in the plan. I don't think we were ever in Devontae Adams' plans. See, this is why I say when people start talking about free agency and what we should be doing and all that stuff is great. I love all that stuff. It's great. Again, no criticism. But when the rubber meets the road and the reality sets in, when it comes to this free agency stuff and content creation, we're not experts. We're not experts from the perspective of we get to choose who our team picks. But I could tell by the way the Cowboys were moving, they got a plan. They know who. I think they've already targeted who they want. We're just not going to know it. And again, I did not expect the Cowboys to come out with all. I didn't expect the Cowboys to come out with all guns blazing. Yeah, hey, get right, man. Man, I'm telling you, man, I was having problems with my internet. I don't know what was going on. But I'm in. I'm in. Dio, I'm not really expecting the Cowboys to do anything to Wednesday. Same thing to me. I said the same thing. I didn't think they were going to splash on the first day. But I'm telling you, Jordan Lewis is a loss. Jordan Lewis is a loss. Jason Lewis, what's going on? I see some change. I just don't think it's going to be today. Now, I said this from the get-go. Don't expect the Cowboys to come out day one swinging. I didn't expect it. Sharon says we need offense. I would draft the wideout from Ohio State, then Hampton. Yeah, see, the offense is where you need to go in the draft. So I was not expecting any offense. I'm not expecting the Devontae Adams. I'm not expecting the Keenan Allen stuff. I'm not expecting any of that stuff. But I do think the Cowboys may see. I think they're going to play the wait and see game on two wide receivers that I'm not going to be surprised that the Dallas Cowboys may sign. I think the Cowboys are going to play wait and see on Cooper Kupp. I think they're going to play wait and see. I think they're going to play wait and see to see if teams start trying to trade to get Cooper Kupp. And if nobody trades to get Cooper Kupp, the Cowboys will probably wait for his value to go down. And then maybe try to do something with Cooper Kupp and get him on a cheaper contract. Because again, none of these things in free agency are about ability. The things in free agency are about what do you want to make, how much you willing to take. And so with Cooper Kupp also, older wide receiver. We better understand something about Cooper Kupp. He's probably got some options. There are some teams, check game on this. Kansas City Chiefs, for example. Why wouldn't they take Cooper Kupp if Cooper Kupp said, I'll play for $3 million a year? Why wouldn't they take Cooper Kupp? Hey, trade for Cooper Kupp. Hey, Rams, trade Cooper Kupp for, who knows, a 7th-round draft pick, whatever the case may be. And Cooper Kupp agreed to the Chiefs, hey, I'll rework my whole contract, whatever the case may be. But a player like Cooper Kupp, even though he has no power because he has to be traded, again, the Cowboys are probably going to play wait and see on Cooper Kupp. Who is going to try to offer the Rams for him? And if nobody offers the Rams, you may see the Cowboys come in with some, hey, we'll offer you a 6th or a 7th or whatever the case may be. And who knows? Get Cooper Kupp. But another name we might want to keep our eyes open for, Tyler Lockett. I think the Cowboys are going to play wait and see on Tyler Lockett. And I think they're going to wait and see if somebody if people are offering Tyler Lockett. And if no one's offering Tyler Lockett, Cowboys probably bring him in on a cheap. This is kind of where they are. But I do think Sharon Milner. I think the Cowboys are probably going to focus on defense. But again, I think maybe even some of the plans for the Cowboys, if they had these plans, some of the players that they were probably looking at or some of us thought they might be looking at, they're gone. Their teams re-signed them. And then we messed around, and Kinlaw, I forgot the team that Kinlaw went to, but some of us were talking about Kinlaw, and Kinlaw is gone. I mean, some of these teams, they got busy and got deals done. I mean, they got deals done. They did. And again, I said it before, I just knew the Cowboys were not going to come out swinging the way we wanted them to. That's why I told everybody to temper their expectations. So what we'll probably be talking about today is more of other teams. But I'm telling us, this thing with Jordan Lewis is bigger than we know. It is bigger than we understand. Jordan Lewis I had said this towards the end of the season. Jordan Lewis was the best defensive back the Cowboys had the entire season. He only missed one game. Jordan Lewis was the best defensive back on the Dallas Cowboys team in 2024. When you look at what they had Jordan Lewis ranked at on Pro Football Focus, I mean, it falls right in line. It says here, the Jaguars are set to make a significant addition to their secondary. NFL media reports that they have agreed to terms with cornerback Jordan Lewis. The full terms of the deal have not been reported, but Lewis is now reportedly set to become the highest paid nickel corner in the league. I'm just telling you guys, I can't help but to be happy for Jordan Lewis. I can't help to be happy for Jordan Lewis. It's bad for us, but I'm happy for Jordan Lewis because the Cowboys have been doing this to Jordan Lewis for the last few seasons. If I'm not mistaken, they've been giving him these little short low ball deals. Jordan Lewis didn't go for the Super Bowl. He didn't go for, and I'm pretty sure he probably thinks the Jacksonville Jaguars can win. The Jaguars are making some moves that are probably going to make some moves that are going to improve their team. But I don't believe he went for the chip. He went for the check. Jordan Lewis went for the check. Bottom line, Jordan Lewis went for the check, and I'm not mad at him. The Cowboys, Jordan Lewis, they should have signed Jordan Lewis. Now, they probably, I assume they have a plan because they had to know the moment they let Jordan Lewis hit free agency, Jordan Lewis was gone. They knew Jordan Lewis was gone. It says Lewis is reportedly set to become the highest paid nickel corner in the league. Lewis, who is number 79 on PFT's list of top free agents, was a 2017 third-round pick by the Cowboys, and he spent his entire career in Dallas. Lewis has played 115 regular season games of his career, has 386 tackles, 10 interceptions, 9.5 sacks, 44 passes defended, 5 forced fumbles, 9 fumble recoveries in those appearances, and a partridge in a pear tree. Jordan Lewis is one of those players the Cowboys should have looked at bringing back. But again, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. What's going on, my man Dono? Dono said if they targeted people, why not just sign them day one, even if they're not big names? I agree with you. But you know why they're not going to do it, Dono? They want to try to wait them out. They want to try to wait them out because the Cowboys' philosophy is you overpay on the first day. You overpay on the first day. And so the Cowboys, they don't want to overpay. And they're willing to risk losing players. Jordan Lewis, number 1. Jordan Lewis, casualty number 1. Now, the Cowboys are waiting for some more casualties, or they're going to try to wait these players out. They're going to try to wait out DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence believes, him and his agent believes they know his value. And I think DeMarcus Lawrence is trying to get something around, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like $12 million, somewhere in that range, $12 to $15 million. DeMarcus Lawrence is trying to hit the lottery again. The Cowboys are going to wait DeMarcus Lawrence out. They're going to smoke him out the building. So this is what the Cowboys do, Dono. They try to make sure that they get these players as cheap as possible. Dono said, I'm upset we lost J. Lou. Me too. I am too. I'm upset we lost J. Lou, but I'm happy for J. Lou because the Cowboys have been doing him like this. And he had arguably one of the best seasons he's had. Man, J. Lou was crazy in 2020. J. Lou was crazy in 2024. J. Lou was crazy. He really was. And it's funny to me, this is why you have to be careful trying to read some of these tea leaves. It was reported that J. Lou had went on, had a long conversation. That J. Lou had a long conversation. Him and Matt Eberflus didn't do no good, did it? Didn't do any good. Didn't do absolutely any good. J. Lou is gone. J. Lou is absolutely gone. And Jaguars paid him. I can't wait to see the contract. They paid him major money. This is also telling me that the Cowboys already kind of probably knew Jordan Lewis was going to be gone. If they don't replace him in free agency, they're probably going to try to replace him in the draft. Someone said the cornerback, and I hadn't even looked at it, but somebody said the cornerback is deep in this draft. I mean, I didn't realize it, but they're saying the cornerback is deep. David J., appreciate that super chat. Yes, sir. I'm with you, David J. I'm saying the same thing. Man, I'm so happy for Jordan Lewis. I can't help to be happy because the dude is such a dog. You know what, man? I'm just going to stick to the premise. I believe the Cowboys have a plan. I told y'all before the Cowboys have a plan. We might not like it, but they have a plan. And they had to know. They're not dumb. They had to know that Jordan Lewis is going to be at a premium. They had to know Jordan Lewis is going to be at a premium. Now, y'all remember what I told you. The Cowboys also have another player out there. I want to see what happens with Kevontae Turpin. Kevontae Turpin, he's out there. Second round tender. Is somebody going to bite on Kevontae Turpin? He's out there. And I really wish the Cowboys would sign Kevontae Turpin because he's an older player. Kevontae Turpin is what, 29? Kevontae Turpin is looking for a contract. But if the Cowboys can get him on this, what they got him on right now, $5.42 million for 1 year. I really wish they would go ahead and work out like a 3-year deal with Kevontae Turpin. Get a 3-year deal. 3 years, $15 million. Get something worked out with Kevontae Turpin. Juan Walker, what's going on? Cooper Kupp already gone to Detroit. One, gosh, man, let me tell you. Now, y'all gonna call me a prophet before it's over. What did I tell y'all a few days ago? Everybody is trying to make this stuff about ability. It is not about ability in free agency. From this perspective, we don't need breakdowns. I like breakdowns. We don't need breakdowns. You know why? Because we already know what these players are. They're older players. A lot of the older players, we already know what they are. And the older players are different than the younger players. The older players are typically out here in free agency. They are literal free agents. So in being free agents, they have to make choices on, do I want the chip or do I want the check? And Cooper Kupp, that is a check issue. They did him a favor. That's a check issue. Let me see what the deal is on Cooper Kupp. Let me see if they've already updated. I appreciate that. Juan Walker, let's see what they got on that. We'll see what comes up on that. So now Cooper Kupp, and I was tripping on the fact that Chris Godwin, he got off the board real quick. Chris Godwin, Tampa Bay just, re-signed him. So the Cowboys, if they want big names, which I don't believe, they're going to try to get these big names. Keenan Allen, unless somebody corrects me. So I'm thinking Keenan Allen is still out here. Now, the Cowboys, the way they play games, they're going to probably still try to wait out even Keenan Allen. If they want to say, hey, maybe we could get Keenan Allen, they're going to wait him out. Cowboys not going to try to get Keenan Allen right now. They're going to wait him out. They are. They're going to wait him out because the longer you wait him out, you can come to him and say, how much will you take? Alex said, what's going on, G? Should the Cowboys reach out to Dre Greenlaw and Kadarius Ward? Also, we lost, man. Oof. Yes, sir, bro. That thing with Lewis is hurting, man. That thing with Jordan Lewis is hurting, boy. That deal, I mean, I'm happy for Jordan Lewis because he finally gets his money. But boy, that's going to hurt. Yeah, I would reach out to Ward. But again, Alex, I said it. Temporary expectations, man. Ward is another one of those players. Unless you just really, really want him, they're going to probably wait him out. You got to throw some smoke in the you got to throw some smoke in the barn. Cowboys are throwing smoke in the barn. They trying to smoke players out. They're going to wait and see if teams get those players, because if teams don't get those players today, the Cowboys they can come right on in and say, okay, how much will it take? How much will it take? And that's what this is really all about in free agency. How much will a player take? And the players who are really the big names, they get to decide how much they want to make. Again, Davante Adams was never in the Cowboys' plans. Davante Adams wanted to be a $20 million a year receiver. The Rams made him a $20 million a year receiver, but I want to see the breakdown of the deal. It's a 2-year, $46 million deal with, I think, it's either 43 or 26 million, but it's 26 million guaranteed. What did I tell y'all? Shannon Sharp put us up on game. Throw all that front number, throw that number in the trash. The only number I want to hear is the guaranteed money. Everything else, throw it in the trash. All it is theater. Throw the junk in the trash. Okay, $26 million. Y'all tell me what you think. Sounds like a 1-year deal to me. Sounds like a 1-year deal with a 1-year option. $26 million is the guaranteed money. So that's the guaranteed money, including whatever the signing bonus is. So it's the signing bonus included with that $26 million. So I guarantee you he gets a lot of that money up front. He gets a lot of that money up front. The Rams, I want to see the breakdown of the deal, because I guarantee you they fixed the deal to where if they don't see what they want to see this year, they clip that deal off next year. He gets $26 million, and it's a $26 million deal for 1 year. I'm telling y'all, the Cowboys were not doing that. The Cowboys were not doing that, and it didn't make sense. Did I not say it? Davante Adams for the Rams is a Super Bowl or bust player. That's all he is. Davante Adams, I said it, he's the type of player you pick up when you say we're 1 player away. The Rams, we saw what they did. No one expected them to get to the playoffs. They went on a ferocious run towards the end, and that doggone defensive line emerged. And everybody was, we all of a sudden like, man, these guys got one of the best defensive lines in the league. And they got the Nakua. I'd have to look at his name. I'm sorry, but they already got him. He's a great wide receiver. Adams is going to be great with him. But I think the Rams are doing what they did a few years ago when they went to the Super Bowl. I think the Rams are trying to go all in again on 2025. I don't even think 2026 is in the plan for the Rams. It's 2025. 2026 is not even in the plan. 2025. I think they're trying to make another run. I think that's why they're doing what they're doing. They got Jimmy Garoppolo back on. They got their backup quarterback insurance. They got the deal with Matthew Stafford reworked. Again, I think they're trying to go all in on 1 season. I think they're trying to go all in on 1 season. And so, Davante Adams, it's a going all in on 1 season deal. That's what it is. I can't wait to see the breakdown, because I'm going to be shocked if it doesn't break down as a 1-year deal to where the Rams can literally walk away and just lose $26 million. The Rams have been notorious for doing this. They did it during that Super Bowl year. They just went all in money. And then after they won that Super Bowl, they were almost done. All those players all of a sudden start falling off. B. Bird, appreciate that super chat. Time arrogance, yes, sir, is what the Joneses suffer from. Other GMs have to make their rosters better to keep their jobs, so they are making moves. B. Bird, boy, you just said something. Megaton bomb. B. Bird, you just gave the answer. What GM in the NFL can sit back and let all the good players go and wait out other players and just get bargain basement players and still keep their job. Jeopardy music? We already know who it is. It is Jerry and Stephen Jones. And again, I think they have a plan. And did I not tell y'all? We're not going to like the plan. We're not going to like the plan. I'm telling you, I think the Cowboys have already targeted who they want. I think they've already targeted who they want. They've targeted who they want. Now it's just a matter of waiting them out. But again, that's why I said Devontae Adams, he was never on the list. DK Metcalf was never on the list. The draft pick, the second round draft pick, was not a big deal for the Cowboys. A lot of teams would have jumped on DK Metcalf for a second round draft pick. The issue with DK Metcalf was the $30 million per year. The Cowboys were never going to pay DK Metcalf the same contract they're paying CeeDee Lamb. They were never going to do that. And as a matter of fact, most teams were not going to do that. Only a team that needed a number one wide receiver was going to do that. And the team that fit the bill perfectly was the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's why they wound up doing it. It was the perfect storm. They needed. Now, the question is, for DK Metcalf, who's throwing to him? I mean, who's going to throw to DK Metcalf? Because they probably going to bring back Justin Fields, but Justin Fields had a problem throwing down the field. Now, unless they fix that, boy, it's going to be a long year in Pittsburgh. But I'm telling us, these players that we've been wanting, they were never in the game plan. That's why I wasn't doing all that kind of chatter, because I'm like, I just know that wasn't in the Cowboys' plan. Keenan Allen. I don't think Keenan Allen is in the plan. Keenan Allen would be one of those pickups. If the Cowboys picked up Keenan Allen today, everybody would be screaming because they would say the Cowboys did something. And people would look at that, and don't get me wrong, we're not poo-pooing Keenan Allen, because I was mad that the Cowboys didn't get Keenan Allen when Chicago got him. Keenan Allen would be a great pickup. Huge pickup for Dak Prescott. He would be a big body receiver that walks in immediately and say, throw me the ball. He would be great. He would be what you would call an aggressive pickup for the Cowboys. But again, don't know be the best. Made a perfect point. If the Cowboys were going to get Keenan Allen, then do it now. See, when you want a player like a Keenan Allen, do it now. Do it now. Because if you wait him out and say he'll get cheaper, someone else waits him out and says, well, he's cheaper too. And your cheap may be less than their cheap. But again, I don't think the Cowboys are looking at offense. I think they're going to try to do something on defense. But these players are falling real quick. Man, I saw that, Kitty boy. Kinlaw went to the Commanders. I was mad. What was it, 3 years, $45 million? Man, I said, what in the world? What in the world? And so the Cowboys, again, they're playing the waiting game. And I told y'all, I just didn't think they were going to get busy on the first day. Jesus, what's going on? We building through the draft. Yep. And hey, watch it, Jesus. Watch what I tell you. They're going to do something. Just stay patient. I just told everybody. They were not doing anything on the first day. And I knew they were not doing anything on the first day. Dwayne says Rico may be on his way to the Raiders. Well, I can tell you this, Dwayne. Welcome to the show today. I can tell you this. I already knew Rico. I didn't know where he was going, but I knew he was going. I knew he was out the door. The moment I heard people saying stuff like Rico Dowdle, $6 million, nah. Cowboys going to draft. Rico, get your money. I'm happy for Rico too. But we got to understand, Rico is an older running back. He's only had 1 year he's only had one healthy season. So maybe this is him getting healthy. But I'll tell you this, I'm not taking that chance, not for $6 million. John Burgess, he said our front office is terrible. Michelle, what's going on? Just watch what I tell you guys. Just be patient. Just be patient. This is not free agency frenzy for us. We're not the first day guys. We're gonna play in free agency. Y'all watch what I tell you. It's just not gonna be first day stuff. It's not gonna be first day stuff. This is that day that everybody gets overpaid. Everybody gets overpaid today. And probably I won't say everybody gets overpaid, but some people are going to get overpaid today. Some people have already gotten overpaid. Michelle, yes, we had a wonderful weekend. Hey, what's going on, Troy? Man, I know. Yeah, they got our boy J. Lou. Patriots are spending big money. Boy, hey, Alex, they had a lot of cap space. They got a lot of cap space. And it's crazy, isn't it? Mike Vrabel is the coach now. Oh, they about to go out and go. Hey, Mike Vrabel, let me tell you something. And this ain't nothing about being black or white. But I'm going to tell you something about people. And this is people in general. I don't care if you black, white, yellow, or green. People move different when they like you. People move different when they're in love with you. People move different. Robert Kraft loves Vrabel. He moving different. He moving way different with Vrabel. You watch what I tell you. They're going to do everything they can do to help Vrabel be successful. B. Bird, appreciate that super chat. B. Bird. The Joneses would rather lose their way while trying to be right than win someone else's way and be proven wrong. Boy, you dropping megaton bombs. You dropping megaton bombs. B. Bird, you hitting it on the head. They're going to do, watch what I tell you, they're going to do something over the next 3 days. They're going to do something. When Wednesday comes, don't you worry. The Cowboys are going to be signing some people. But but like you're saying, they got to do it their way. The Cowboys are saying, okay, we're going to play in free agency. You got us. But we're going to play in free agency our way. We're going to play the waiting game. We got some players targeted. And I'm telling y'all, I guarantee you, the Cowboys got players targeted. But they also got them targeted at a price. And they already know, or this is how they think, B-Bird, we don't want to do first day stuff because that's where you overpay. And some people are going to get overpaid. Some people probably have been overpaid. The Cowboys saying, we're not playing in that area. We're not playing in the overpay area. We're going to play in the bargain area. We're going to try to get closer and closer to a bargain. And that's where the Cowboys are. Let me get down here and do some more greetings. I got some people in here I want to make sure I say hello to. Smoke one for you. What's going on? D-Law is asking for $14 million. They going to smoke him out. Hey, smoke one for you. They going to smoke him out. They going to smoke him out. The Cowboys are saying, okay, D-Law, we want you back, but not at $14 million. So go out there and get it from someone else. And when you don't get it from someone else, now this is the chance you take, smoke one for you when you D-Law. So when you go out there and try to get that $14 million and nobody give it to you. Now, what we were offering you before, now we're going to drop that by a couple more million. Now we're going to drop that by a couple more million if you come back with your tail between your legs. This is the games the Cowboys play. It is. Top Gunner, what's up? He said, I would have liked to have Nick Bolton. Man, me too. But you know what? Kansas City said, no way, Jose. Re-signed him. Sharon said that's the problem. They're always waiting. Yep, too long. Teams that really trying to win ain't winning for no one else to get the good players. See, and the Cowboys, again, they're trying to get those bargain players. They're trying to get those bargain players. And Sharon, I'm telling you, I was telling people this. Temper your expectations with the Cowboys. This is not how they're about to roll. They're not about to roll like this. The Cowboys have a plan. The draft is where because the Cowboys are trying to get younger. We actually may be applauding the Cowboys in 4 years. We may be applauding the Cowboys. The Cowboys are going to be one of the youngest teams in the league, even this year. And if they build the way they're trying to do through the draft, we're going to see some results over the next 3 years. But I think they're also trying to fix it to where they don't fall off a cliff in 3 to 4 years. But me, The way the NFL operates right now, I think the Cowboys should be thinking about this totally different. Nah, man, push your chips all in. Tomorrow is not promised. Push your chips all in. Push your chips all to the middle. And when you get those seasons where you can say, there are players available that if we bring in these players, we can make a Super Bowl run, do it. Do it. You push all them chips in. Do it. You go for it all. And the Cowboys, again, they got a plan. I told y'all, I've been telling y'all they have a plan. We may not like the plan. Did I not tell you that? We may not like the plan. Cowboys have a plan. And I think they're going to go in the draft and get some of these pieces. Again, Smoke one for you. I hear you. He said pause. But yeah, I'm hearing, man, this cornerback draft is deep, and I think that's one of the reasons why the Cowboys decided they were willing to let Jordan Lewis go. Keedy boy, the Cowboys are sitting on their hands. I hope that we can get Jonathan Allen. Keedy boy, you watch what I tell you. See, the Cowboys, he may be one of those guys they have targeted. They're gonna smoke him out. They're gonna smoke him out. Now, I do believe that there are players that you have to say, that's the player I want, I go get him. There should be one luxury player. But the Cowboys don't have that luxury player on day one. They don't have that luxury player. Because if they had that luxury player, the Cowboys would have already went and tried to get that luxury player. No, the Cowboys' thought process is, we're going to get value picks. So, we're going to let all the smoke clear on day one. They smoking folks out. Day two, we get to go in and say, nobody picked you up on day one. How about coming to the Cowboys? And I do think the Cowboys are going to try to get a name that's going to make some people go woo. But I don't think they're sitting on the well, Keedy boy, they are sitting on their hands on day one. But I think they got a plan. Problem is, we just don't like the plan. I've been saying it. Wicked. I'm shocked the Steelers went after Metcalf. I'm not. I know you're ecstatic right now, Wicked. I'm not. I'm not surprised. Now, they're waiting on Justin Fields. I will not be surprised, Wicked, if the Pittsburgh Steelers not only bring in Justin Fields, I'm very interested to see, will they take a chance on one Sam Darnold, or will they really take a chance and bring in Aaron Rodgers? Those are the two quarterbacks that I'm thinking that they may try to bring in if the Pittsburgh Steelers want to go into win now mode. Because now it looks like the Minnesota Vikings, obviously they couldn't work out with Sam Darnold what they wanted, because rumor had it they really wanted Sam Darnold. But obviously that's not working out. And Sam Darnold, let me tell you something. Sam Darnold is walking around here with his chest puffed out. Y'all might not realize this, but I've been listening to how they've been talking about Sam Darnold. Man, Sam Darnold walking around this thing with his chest poked out. Sam Darnold is saying to this league, do you see what I did with Minnesota? All I need is some players and all I need is a few players and some play calling. I'm him in this league. That's what Sam Darnold is saying. So any team that need a quarterback, and I had said this before, I'm just telling you about me. If I'm a team and I don't think this draft is that strong as far as quarterbacks go, if I were the Tennessee Titans, I would strengthen my team. I would trade that number one pick and I would go get Sam Darnold. I would trade that number one pick. There's a team out there that wants Abdul Carter. I would trade that number one pick. I would trade that number one pick and bring in Sam Darnold. And in my mind, Sam Darnold is a 2-year quarterback for me. I'm going to bring Sam Darnold in 2024. I'm going to draft my quarterback. I'm going to bring him in 2025. I'm going to draft my quarterback in 2026. And I'm going to let him sit under Sam Darnold for one more year. And I'm telling you, the only way I keep Sam Darnold, Super Bowl or bust. or the NFC or the AFC championship game, and he's not the reason why we lose. Only way I'm keeping him after year 2, Super Bowl or bust. But I'm going to bring in that quarterback in 2026, and I'm going to tell Sam Darnold, see you later. What Sam Darnold make last year? $10 million? To bring a quarterback in right now for $10 million would be you want to talk about a steal of a deal? Bring in Sam Darnold for $15 million? Hey, man, Sam Darnold, bring in 3 years, $45 million, $30 million guaranteed. Yeah, that's a 2-year deal. If I'm the New York Giants, even though I think they may really want Shedeur Sanders, if I'm the New York Giants, Sam Darnold to me would be too enticing. Not because I think Sam Darnold is great, but if I don't think the quarterback class is great between Cam Ward and Shedeur, if I don't like those 2 quarterbacks and anybody below, I'll take Sam Darnold over anybody coming out of college right now. I don't think Cam Ward. Now, you college football fans, y'all get at me. Tell me what you think. Sam Darnold, to me, is better than any college quarterback that's going to come out right now. I just think Sam Darnold is better than any QB, any one of these rookies, Cam Ward or Shedeur. He's going to be better right now. Maybe even next year. Now, year 3 may be a different story. I think their upsides are really good. But if I don't like those 2 quarterbacks, I'd bring in Sam Darnold and Wicked. You may see Sam Darnold in Pittsburgh. You may see Sam Darnold. You may see Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers quite fits over in Pittsburgh. You know, Aaron Rodgers is pretty eccentric, man. But we'll see. Anthony Aldridge. I think Turpin will come back. We're going to see. Because I tell you this, Anthony Aldridge, and it's not a matter of him coming back because the Cowboys already got him. They got him on a $5.42 million deal. They got him. The question is, will somebody go after him? Because if nobody goes after Turpin, we got him already. The Cowboys hold all of his rights. There's nothing he can do. They hold all of his rights. The question is, will somebody go after him? And, man, I'm really torn on this, Anthony. I'm torn. I love Turpin. I'm torn on this. Especially with the way we've started free agency. I'm torn on this. Because if somebody really goes in there and offers Turpin a deal, I'm going to cry on the front end. But you get a second-round draft pick on the back end. Second-round draft pick in this draft? Ooh. Man, second-round draft pick in this draft? Man, you talking about maybe being able to go and get you another defensive tackle at number 2? I mean, the second round of the draft and get the running back? Or get a wide receiver and a running back? Whoo, man. I'm not saying I hope somebody pick up Turpin, but I'm not going to be mad if they do. I'm just not going to be mad if they pick up Turpin. I'm telling you. Smoke 140, he says franchise and no one giving up second rounder for Turp. Yep. Well, I tell you this. I think maybe even the Cowboys think that because he's out there available. Maybe even they think that, but I think somewhere the Cowboys, because you got to understand, there's no other way to slice this. I think the Cowboys do want somebody to pick up Turpin. Or think there's a chance that somebody would pick up Turpin. Because otherwise they wouldn't have put him out there. So I think they're hoping against hope that they're going to take a chance and dangle him out there and see if anybody takes him. Dak owns filthy. What's going on? Man, you never know with YouTube. You never know, man. You never know. Neo, he said, I really want to get excited about this year because I love the coaching staff, but it's starting to get alarming. Neo, just be patient. They're going to do something, but I just told you, I told everybody, day one was not going to happen. Day one was not going to happen. I'm not Nostradamus or anything, but I just knew the day wasn't going to happen. The Cowboys are operating like they operate. Okay, we're going to play in free agency. We're going to do it our way. And we're not going to go out there on day one and start breaking the bank on players. Cowboys got their mindset. I think they have their mindset on who they want. It looks like so right now. Now, let's think about this. And then I'm going to get some more greetings in. I appreciate everybody coming in, rocking with me. If you haven't hit that like button, please do. Now, unless these are gone, y'all update me. I'm looking at this on the side, and it's a little bit behind. But I want us to think about this. Patience, sometimes, well, people say patience is a virtue. Patience may pay off for the Cowboys if the top 10 available free agents. So what happens if Milton Williams doesn't go today? What happens if Milton Williams does not go today? Javon Kinlaw signed a 3-year deal with $30 million guaranteed. He went before Milton Williams, basically. So what happens if Milton Williams don't go today? If Milton Williams does not go today, I believe automatically his price goes down. Sam Darnold, we've already talked about him, different story. Josh Sweat. I would love the Cowboys to bring in Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat, for all intent and purposes, he's still on the board. And if Josh Sweat is still on the board, he stays on there past the day, the price goes down. Kavarius Ward, still on the board. Amari Cooper, still on the board. Byron Murphy Jr., names, I'm wondering if that name's been called, but Byron Murphy Jr., still on the board. Dre Greenlaw, still on the board. Javon Rowland, still on the board. Will Fry, still on the board. Justin Fields, still on the board. Wicked, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Speaking on Pittsburgh, I'm almost positive they want Justin Fields. But if no one runs and grabs Justin Fields today, price goes down. Price goes down on Justin Fields. And all of these players that I just called out, the price goes down if nobody gets them. So the Cowboys, at least I believe, they're hoping that their patience pays off. Mills got an update here. He says Cowboys going heavy at Najee Harris, 3 years, $18 million, and Noah Brown. Oh man, Mills, boy, you already told. Oh, I hope that don't come true. I absolutely hope that does not come true. I would rather have Tyler Lockett over Noah Brown. I hope that does not come true. Najee Harris, no, thank you. AJ Dillon or Nick Chubb. Aaron Jones, of course, off the board, went back to the San Francisco 49ers. And I'll tell you this, these doggone Washington Commanders, man, kind of looking at these guys in our division, boy, Washington is busy. Washington has picked up John Bates. He's a re-sign. I'm sorry, John Bates. They re-signed John Bates. So we're going to have problems with them. Zach Ertz re-signed 1-year deal. They got Javon Kinlaw, 3-year, $45 million deal. Of course, they re-signed Bobby Wagner. I mean, that's just Dan Quinn's boy. He's probably like a coach on the field. They re-signed Zane Gonzalez, and they signed Tress Way to re-sign Tress Way to a 1-year deal. So they've been a little bit busy. I don't think they're done. Yep, I don't think they're done. I think it's pretty interesting too when you think about the Chicago Bears. They understand the assignment. They absolutely understand the assignment. They're working on getting that offensive line fixed. I mean, they got an offensive lineman. They got a guard. I'm thinking this is Jonah Jackson. Is he a tackle? They got Jonah Jackson, Joe Thune, and Drew Dalman. These boys said we have got to fix our doggone we got to fix our offensive line. We have to fix our offensive line. These boys are going in on that offensive line. So it looks like they have a plan, and they're going to probably try to build their offense through the draft. They're going to try to build the skill players through the draft. But again, and there's Aaron Jones signing for the 2-year, $20 million deal. The Cowboys, I'm telling us, they're waiting out this day one stuff. They're going to let all the smoke clear. And not to say they don't do anything day one, but especially let the smoke clear, or at least this is probably how they're thinking. Let the smoke clear early on, and then we can see what happens later on in the day, and especially tomorrow, and then Wednesday they can make a signing. I was really upset about this one. Hassan Reddick, 1-year deal, $14 million with $12 million guaranteed. I would have loved for the Cowboys to bring in Hassan Reddick, but of course he's gone. Again, I'm telling y'all, the Rams seem like they're doing the same thing they did the last time they went to the Super Bowl. The Rams seem to be trying to make another serious run at the Super Bowl, and I think they want to try to get it either 1 or 2 years. San Francisco 49ers, this is very interesting. Some of the news about them. They are trying to offer Brock Purdy, I don't know if it's true, Brock Purdy $45 million per year, and I told you, I knew Brock Purdy was not going to get the Dak Prescott deal. And the funny thing is, man, the Josh Allen deal is crazy. Not quite as much per year as Dak Prescott, $55 million, but it's a 6-year deal. So the Buffalo Bills have basically made sure that he's going to retire in Buffalo. But let me get some more greetings in. My man Wicked slipped in on me. Appreciate you in here, man. John Burgess, what's going on? Let me get some more up in here. Randy, what's going on? Randy Red. Puka Nakua, thank you. Puka Nakua. I got to see that name to remember it. Yeah, Puka Nakua and Devontae Adams should be really good together. Ready Red. Wish we had that 95, Jerry. Oh, man. Yes, sir. But we had that 95, Jerry. Hey, we'd had that 95, Jerry Red. We would have got, we probably would have got DK Metcalf. Probably wouldn't even been a question. Pittsburgh was the perfect fit for DK. I 100% agree, B-Bird. And that's why I wasn't surprised when they went after him. They needed a number one wide receiver, and they got him. Sharon said that's why we don't win. Bro, I'm so tired of the team, seriously. Hey, just be patient. Be patient. There are still some good players out there. Maybe not the ones we thought that they were going to get, but just be patient. Ron said Pittsburgh doesn't have a lot of draft picks, 6, I think. I think they think they have enough, though. I think they think they have enough, and now they got DK Metcalf. All they need is a quarterback. Now they're going to probably try to figure out what they're going to do at running back. The draft is so deep with running back. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they got players already. The Pittsburgh Steelers are just trying to tweak. Gregory Davis, what's going on? Good to see you. Kenny McNair, going to have to trade pauses to get out. Hey, Kenny, I can tell you right now. Kenny, what's going on? Let me drop this on the since you brought up Micah Parsons. I believe Micah Parsons is going to be what the Joneses are going to clarify as the big fish signing. They keep waiting, and they shouldn't have waited. Max Crosby cost us an extra $3 to $4 million. Now we get another signing in. Now we get another signing in our man Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett has now taken that from an extra $3 to $4 million for Micah Parsons to an extra $8 million for Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons would have probably signed a deal with the Cowboys for $32 million. Now we got Micah Parsons up to probably around, if not $40 million, if not $38 or $39 million, he's going to eclipse Myles Garrett with $41 or $42 million. Jerry's doing this stuff to himself. Jerry and Steven are doing this stuff to themselves. I don't think there's any scenario right now the Cowboys are going to trade him. I don't think there's any scenario unless some team jumps up and says we're going to give you 3 first-round draft picks. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think Jerry Jones, and I was afraid of this, even when Micah Parsons was saying, I don't have to be the highest paid in my position. I think Jerry wants Micah Parsons to be the highest paid in his position. I think he wants him to be the highest paid. Because when he makes him the highest paid, he's going to be the talk of the town. Micah Parsons will be the talk of the town once he gets that deal. Cowboy fans are going to rejoice. He'll be the talk of the town. It'll be all over the news waves. You think about the deal that Myles Garrett signed. Do we not know how insane it is that Myles Garrett, at his age, signed a 4-year, $160 million deal? Do we not understand how crazy that is? No one's talking about it. I mean, they talked about it. They're not talking about it. But if Micah Parsons would have signed that deal, the media world explodes. Whatever deal Micah Parsons signs, the media world is going to explode. And I think that he is going to be the big fish signing for the Cowboys, and then we're going to go from there. I don't know when that's going to happen, but they're going to go. I think they're going to classify him as the big fish signing. I can hear Jerry now when he talks about what they did in free agency. He'll be talking about after they signed Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons was our big fish signing, and then he'll talk about the other people they signed. But again, there are still some players available out there, some highly impact players. And right now, I got my eyes on 2, and we'll see what they do. And really 3. I thought Greenlaw. Okay, maybe I got it mixed up, but I thought Greenlaw was gone. But if not, I have my eyes on 3. Greenlaw, Kavarius Ward, Josh Sweat. Those are the 3 that I have my eyes on. Again, Josh Sweat, Kavarius Ward, and Dre Greenlaw. And let's put this over here in another category of this would be awesome, but I don't think it's going to happen. If Keenan Allen is still there tomorrow, maybe the Cowboys go to maybe they go to Keenan Allen. Maybe they go to Keenan Allen and sign him to a 3-year deal, $15 million guaranteed. 3-year deal, $20 million guaranteed. Y'all tell me what you think, but I wouldn't be mad if the Cowboys brought in a Keenan Allen for $10 million a year for the next 2 seasons. I wouldn't be mad. I think Keenan Allen would be a steal at $10 million per year for 2 to 3 years. Keenan Allen would undeniably solidify your wide receiver room and still go in that draft and get one of those top flight wide receivers. There are quite a few of them in there. It wouldn't deter me from getting a wide receiver. But again, the longer these people stay out there, the lower their price gets. Because the people who getting paid, they getting paid quick. Up front, people already had their eye on them. They're out there. They're getting them. So we'll see the Cowboys. But y'all be patient. I told y'all they were not going to do anything on day one. They're not. You don't clear up the money. They clear it up for nothing. They're playing in free agency. Just not today, I don't believe. Yes, sir, Mighty I. What's going on? He re-upped. Yeah, he re-upped in a big way. Oh, man, skeptical fan. Skeptical fan, boy, he could have his own show. As the skeptical fan. He said the Cowboys screw themselves every year. Skeptical fan, let's be patient. They ain't done yet. They are not done yet. Let's watch what I tell you. Damon Davis, what's up? He said any good news yet? Oh, no DK, no Devontae Adams. Yeah, we knew they wasn't getting them though, Bama boy. Yeah, we knew they wasn't getting them. They were too rich for the Cowboys' blood. But again, if I'm not mistaken, Keenan Allen is still out there. And the crazy part, guys, is this. They don't even have Keenan Allen listed as like one of these. You would think he'd be in the top 10. Keenan Allen's not even in the top 10. So if the Cowboys are looking tomorrow, or maybe later on today, maybe somewhere on that list is one Keenan Allen. And again, I would not be mad if the Cowboys brought Keenan Allen in at $10 million a year. That would be a steal. Sean Shug, what's up? He said Dallas ain't doing it. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I don't think they're going to wait till no one's left. I think they're trying to let these big players, I think they're trying to let the big name players go off the board. Sharon Milner, she said, I'm not buying no more merchandise or anything until I see they're serious. Hey, Sharon, hey, hold on. Is it Sharon or Sharon? Just hold on. I'm telling you. Just hold on. Mighty I, we've seen the best of Rico. Man, I think he might have peaked last year, but he may surprise us. But again, I'm glad he got his money or going to get his money, but there was no way the Cowboys were paying him $6 million. Ron said 30 years of patience. I feel you, man. I feel you, my brother. I feel you. Jerry doing Jerry things once again, cheap budget market players. Well, again, Damon, there are still some good players out there. It's just a matter of the Cowboys are trying to smoke them out. Let's go down the list here. Let's see if this list is up to date. Y'all let me know. Let's run down. Doesn't seem like there's been any. Let me get up to date on that as I listen in the background. Of course, we know T. Higgins. We know about T. Higgins. Sam Darnold, of course not. Trey Smith, franchise tag. Josh Sweat is still out there. Josh Sweat is not a bargain player. I would love for the Cowboys to go get him. Also, I just saw the picture here of Von Miller. I don't know where the Cowboys are on the thought process with him. So we got a lot of guys signed. The cornerback Kavarius Ward is out there. Hold on a second. Safety Talanoa Hufanga is still out there. We extended Marquise Bell. I believe that was a great signing. If I were the Cowboys, I would also be thinking about Dre Greenlaw. Once the smoke clears today, I would really go after him. Don't think they're going to go after somebody like Cam Robinson. Carlton Davis, it looks like it's still out there. Excuse me. We're not going to go on anybody. I don't think we're going to go after anybody on offense. We already know about this. Byron Murphy is out there, I guess, if you wanted a cornerback. Cam Bynum is out there as a safety. Again, Milton Williams is out there. The Lions defensive tackle, Levi, whatever his name is there at the end. Chargers cornerback, I would still like the Cowboys to kick the tires on Asante Samuel. Y'all tell me what you think. Trayvon Moehrig is out there. Saints tight end Juwan Johnson. Would he be an upgrade from Ferguson or any of these guys? Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper, I would love for the Cowboys to have a conversation with Amari Cooper. I definitely would not mind them bringing back Amari Cooper because I think Amari Cooper was great with the Cowboys. Let's see. Let's keep going down the line here. Darius Slay. Don't want Darius Slay. Panthers cornerback Mike Jackson. Not really sure about him. Saints edge rusher. Oh, I forgot about him. Chase Young. I would love for the Cowboys to bring in Chase Young. Maybe get him on an $8-9 million deal. Texans wide receiver Stephon Diggs. No, thank you. Colts edge rusher Dayo. Y'all tell me what you think about him. Bengals cornerback Mike Hilton. Giants linebacker Aziz is still out there. Tershawn Wharton for the Chiefs. Defensive lineman is out there. Justin Simmons. No Darius Slayton. Christian Fulton, cornerback. Patrick Jones, edge rusher out there. Dante Fowler. Man, let me tell you something about Dante Fowler. Dante Fowler has now been on 2 of Dan Quinn's defenses and has gotten minimal snaps. He played with the Cowboys. He played with the Commanders. And now he's available out there as a free agent. So maybe it wasn't just the Cowboys. Harrison Smith is out there. Rusal Davis. Joey Bosa is still out there. Interesting. Malcolm Kuntz is out there. Joseph Asai is out there. Jeremy Chin. There are still players out here, guys. There are still players out here. Number 72, Keenan Allen is still out there. Still out there. So, again, let's just be a little bit more patient. I told y'all, temper your expectations. No day one stuff, more than likely. Cowboys, DeMarcus Lawrence. The Cowboys are not paying DeMarcus Lawrence the big money that he wants. They're going to smoke him out and see. DeAndre Hopkins is still out there. Don't think he's probably in the Cowboys' plans. Julian Blackmon is out there. Falcons have an edge rusher out there. The Dolphins, Calais Campbell is out there. I'm telling y'all, man, people keep waiting on Calais Campbell to fall off a cliff. He hasn't fallen off a cliff yet. He could be a good rotational player. Matthew Judon is out there. Colts linebacker E.J. Speed, not really familiar with him. Defensive tackle, Poona Ford. Y'all tell me what you think about Poona Ford. Jameis Winston is out there possibly, but I think they may just try to get them a quarterback in the draft and not even worry about a quarterback coming in. Dante Jackson for the Steelers is out there. Cody Barton, Javon Hargrove, defensive lineman for the 49ers. Y'all tell me what y'all think about him. All right, I was seeing a notification came by. I was seeing somebody got signed. So this is pretty much where we are. Chauncey Golston is out there, one of our guys. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get picked up. Cowboys go back and hit him with a super cheap deal and try to bring him back in the house. There are players still out there, guys. Just keep watching. Be patient. Get right to get left. Appreciate that super chat. Get right or get left. I'm in the same wheelhouse. He says, here's my theory. Dallas is looking to sign more bodies than big names. They're filling the roster holes and signing depth, then drafting best player available in the draft. I believe the same things. I believe similar to what you're saying. And when you look at the top 103 free agents that we just went through, when you just focus in on that list, there are some players that I will not be surprised, again, that the Cowboys may surprise us and make a small run after. Because I'm telling us, the longer a player like a Josh Sweat sits out there, that's the price going down. If you didn't get picked up in the first part, the premium part of the draft, of the free agency thing, your price goes down. This is literally the stock market. For this free agency thing we're watching, it's the stock market. You know what kind of value they hold on these players by how fast they either get extended or signed. And we've seen the players we thought that were going to be out there, they're not out there. Their teams extended them. The teams that will now, the free agents who were left out there, a lot of them already picked up. The ones who we were like, man, top money free agents. Now, we got the free agents to where now people are starting to look at the value of, okay, so they haven't been picked up. How much are they willing to play for us for? I would love for the Cowboys to go after Josh Sweat. I just think Josh Sweat would immediately make this defense, and him and, man, I'm telling you, him and Michael Parsons would be a terror. I would love for the Cowboys, Kavarius Ward again, Talanoa Hufanga, the linebacker Dre Greenlaw. Please, Dallas, bring in Dre Greenlaw. I believe they could get Dre Greenlaw extremely cheap. Bring in Jay Greenlaw. I'm telling us, man, there are players out here if the Cowboys want them. There are still players out here. Milton Williams, I know some people may balk on Milton Williams. He would still be great in the rotation because he flourished. Even being a shorter defensive tackle with the Eagles, he flourished this year. I'm just saying, Asante Samuel Jr., I would bring him in. There are awesome players out there. Offensively, Amari Cooper, if you want a wide receiver, I'm not going to be surprised if Tyler Lockett comes through the building for a conversation. You want to make the fan base jump. A guy like Keenan Allen could do that for your franchise. And again, Chase Young. Chase Young. Chase Young is right there. And so the Cowboys could really, I think they could do well by bringing in a Chase Young. Let me read. Let me get some more. I see some more of my people in here. My man Chanel, what is going on? What is going on? Chanel, there are no more good names after day one. Well, we're still in day one. And I've read off some of the names, Chanel. You tell me what you think about those names. The Cowboys still got opportunities to get what people, I believe people would consider, even us would consider, these are some big names. Man, I'm telling you, I've been talking Josh Sweat ever since the season was over. I would love for the Cowboys to get Josh Sweat. I just think Josh Sweat is a dog. I believe Josh Sweat is a dog. And when you look at his history of how he came in, had a few issues coming in, and Josh Sweat, to me, has always been one of these players who, because of how he came in, he's got a chip on his shoulder. And now that the Philadelphia Eagles are letting him hit free agency, it would be more of a chip on his shoulder. Man, I would love to bring in Josh Sweat. You want them dog players. Lord Nova 85. Nah, we ain't going to be 7-10. I promise you that. No 7-10 for us. Neo, what's going on? Williams to the Patriots. Appreciate that super chat. Williams to the Patriots. Give me the first name. Oh, man, Milton Williams. Wow. Milton Williams to the Patriots. Probably wasn't in the plans anyway, but wow. Milton Williams to the doggone Patriots. Yeah, them boys, Alex, you said it. I think you were saying it, Alex. Man, them boys are spending money. Yes, sir. Milton Williams. Here it is. Milton Williams. Top-rated free agent Milton Williams agrees to a 4-year contract with the Patriots. Wow. NFL.com had him rated as the number 1 free agent. $26 million per year. He was never going to the Cowboys with that money. Wow. Okay. So Milton Williams, officially off the board, y'all. Milton Williams is off the board. You get some more up in here. I see my man D-Block 88 in here. What's going on? Double star. The definition of insanity. Our Crip keep doing the same old thing year after year. We're going to see. We're going to see. D-Block, but G, that ain't their fault. Ain't nobody waiting for this week front office. Whoo, you said it. That's true. And that's the chance you're taking. Right there. D-Block 88. That's the chance you're taking. I mentioned it. The cheaper those players get for you, the cheaper they get for other teams. And your cheap may not be the other team's cheap. You may be wanting, hey, man, when you come in for $6 million, they say, nah, hey, someone else comes in and say, I'll do you one better. They want 6, we'll do you 8. Whoa, just got another signing. Sam Darnold to the Seattle Seahawks. 3-year, $100.5 million contract. Sam Darnold has officially hit the lottery. And the Seattle Seahawks. I want to see the breakdown of the deal. Now, didn't I tell y'all, if it was me, knowing what this particular quarterback class looks like, I would sign Sam Darnold. Did I not just say it? I would sign Sam Darnold. 3-year deal. 2-year deal in reality. I'd sign him to a 3-year deal. But the issue is the guaranteed money. And if you get Sam Darnold, I want y'all to think about this. This is a 3-year deal, $100.5 million deal. I don't even care what that means. That's the front end number. But if the back end number is $60 million guaranteed, you got to steal because you got a quarterback at $30 million. Quarterback salaries are $50 million plus now. You got Sam Darnold at $30 million? If you got Sam Darnold at $35 million, you could literally walk away from that contract in 2 years. $35 million. You put some players around him because that's exactly what they're going to do. I'm telling y'all, everyone is looking at this draft thinking the same thing. The wide receiver depth is there. The wide receiver depth is there in this draft. The running back depth is there in this draft. So teams are willing to say, hey, we'll pass on some of these big name wide receivers. The Seahawks, hey, we'll trade. We'll trade DK Metcalf. You're not happy here anyway. We'll trade DK Metcalf. I think Metcalf could have played with Sam Darnold. But again, you free up cap space. You get you a second round draft pick. The draft is loaded with wide receivers. Sam Darnold. I don't think Sam Darnold is, I don't think he's better than Geno Smith. I don't think when you look at the drop-off from Geno Smith, I don't think you're falling off a cliff. I don't think you're falling off a cliff from Geno to Sam Darnold. Now, you may be falling off the curve. You know what I'm saying? There may be some drop-off, but it's not that big of a drop-off. Here it is. Then I'm going to read that super chat. Here it is. Sam Darnold. That man has hit the lottery. Can't wait to see the breakdown. Oh, look at this. Man, y'all gonna call me Nostradamus before it's over. Look at this deal for Sam Darnold. It's exactly what I would have done. Look at this. Look at the deal, y'all. This number up front, throw it in the trash. $100.5 million contract. Throw that number in the trash. $55 million guaranteed. It's exactly what I would have done. Exactly what I would have done. In essence, this is a 2-year contract. It's a 2-year contract. This is how you work those deals. It's a 2-year contract. Hey, man, you come up in here and we'll pay you $55 million guaranteed. So you're telling me that I can have Sam Darnold for 2 years at, what is that, $27.5 million? I could have Sam Darnold for $27.5 million. I could put in there $45 million in incentives. Oh, especially in that third season. Hey, you make it to the third season. Roster bonus is this. You know, training camp bonuses. I'll put all that stuff in the third season. But in the first 2 seasons, you're going to get all that $55 million. All of it in the first 2 years. And most of it in the first 2 and maybe a little bit of it in the third. Even if we cut you, you still get your guaranteed $55 million. And we get to go in the draft. Not this year. We don't like the draft class, Seattle. We go in next year. And we get us a quarterback next year. And let that quarterback develop under Sam Darnold. Who knows? They may go in and get the quarterback this year. They get the quarterback this year, let him sit up under Sam Darnold for 2 years, let that quarterback develop. 3rd year, Sam Darnold, see you later. Or if Sam Darnold's doing good, even if you get him for $100 million for 3 years, it's bargain basement prices for a quarterback. And you can put all kinds of players behind a quarterback that you would have up under Sam Darnold. This is the exact deal I would have did. And I'm telling you, if I would have been a Tennessee Titans, they couldn't have beat me to this deal. Unless the Tennessee Titans are sold on Cam Ward. Now, if they're sold on Cam Ward, stay at number 1. But if you're not sold on Cam Ward, this is the deal I would have done. I would have got Sam Darnold. If I'm the New York Giants, if I wasn't sold on Shador, I would have went and got Sam Darnold. I'm telling you, to have a quarterback a starting quarterback at $30-something million per season, the things you can do around that quarterback is incredible. Bravo, Seattle. Let me read some of your super chats. I appreciate y'all rocking with me today. Gwen Warner, appreciate that $5 super chat. Gwen Warner said, I told you Cowboy fans to not get your hopes up for anything. These two clans in the front office. What a mess. He said, I just have to laugh. Gwen Warner, just be patient. I don't think they're done yet. But we're going to see. Gwen Warner said, appreciate that $2 super chat. Yes, sir. Green law to the Commanders. Green law to the Commanders. So I'm wondering if Josh Sweat doesn't come off next. But I'm hoping that the Cowboys are looking at Josh Sweat. Let's see here. Yeah, that I'm telling you, man, the Cowboys, this is the game you play, though. When you play the weight game, you're in danger of losing whatever you may have targeted on your board. You're in danger of losing. Yes, sir. I'm with you, D Block. I'm with you on that. Ori, trade the best player. Yeah, they're not trading Michael, though. Varick Williams, they make all their top players highest paid. Dak zigzag. I'm telling you, Varick. I said it. You heard me say it today. I said it in a video. And I just believe the Cowboys like their players being the top paid player in the league. They do. I just think they like it. Jerry wanted to make Dak Prescott the highest paid. For anyone who gets mad about Dak Prescott, Jerry wanted Dak Prescott to be the highest paid quarterback. He wanted him to be the highest paid quarterback. He wants Micah Parsons. I can't even make it make logical sense to you. Jerry Jones wants Micah Parsons to be the highest paid player, highest paid non-quarterback player. And the reason why I know this to be true, because Micah Parsons begged to get signed even before the season was over. Said he doesn't have to be the highest paid player at his position. Was saying this even during the playoffs. And they didn't sign him. Knowing full well they're going to sign him. They want him to be the highest paid player. They do. I'm not sure that Steven does, but I know Jerry does. D Block said he don't think it's going to happen, that the Cowboys going to do something. I think they're going to do something. It's just not, like I said, man, they're just going to wait it out. Boy, Bama boys. He said Keenan Allen is old. I'm tired of these old players. Woo! I love it. I ain't mad at you for saying it either, Bama boy. But there are a lot of people, man, they've been hollering Keenan Allen. Now, Bama boy, catch a part of what I said about Keenan Allen. He would be one of those picks that would make some of the Cowboys fans happy. He is. He's one of those players. Mirko, what's going on? He said Keenan isn't a bad move, actually. Still has some juice and is a good vet. Cooper's legs are shot, so I don't want him back. Can't have Tolbert as your number 2, and Cooks we don't need back. Cooks not coming back. Tolbert will be the number 3. Ted McMillan, Emeka Buka, or Luther Burden III is going to be the Cowboys' second wide receiver. Matthew Downs, I think his name is, from Texas, or he may be the second wide receiver. I believe the Cowboys are going rookie at the second wide receiver if they don't go in free agency and pick up someone like Keenan Allen. But again, I was already on this boat. I don't want the Cowboys to get none of these offensive players in this free agency. I don't care if they don't touch not one offensive player. I said it last night. I'm saying it again. I don't care if they get an offensive player. What I want them to do is go in and fortify this doggone defense. We need a serious defense. I want them to fortify the defense. That's where I am. Fortify the defense. Whoa. Boy, Wicked, your heart just got broke. Neo just broke news for us. Justin Fields to the Jets. You know what? I actually feel sorry for Justin Fields. I wouldn't want to play for the Jets. Y'all think the Cowboys organization is bad? There are two other organizations, the way their owners operate, there are two other organizations that operate similar to the Cowboys or worse. It's the New York Jets and the Cincinnati Bengals. I would never want to go to those two teams. I just wouldn't want to go. I would not want to go to those two teams. I mean, I'm glad he got signed. I'm very interested in what kind of deal that they signed him for. I mean, I'm wondering, did he get somewhere close to that Sam Darnold type of money, or are they just kind of bringing him in on like a little bit of a contract? I'm sure it'll update here in a moment on NFL.com. I'd like to know what the deal is on that because, man, the Jets is just one of those teams I don't like. I just don't like I just as a quarterback, I just wouldn't want to go to the Jets. Man, that's tough treading right there. A lot of times, man, you go to the Jets and you done. You absolutely done when you go to the Jets. All right, let me try to get some more up in here. If I miss you, I'm sorry. Let me try to get some more up in here. I'm trying to get some more names I hadn't seen. What's going on, Anthony B? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Diddy Vestal, Jerry to be sipping on that insured drink. Oh, man. Oh, man. What's going on, Gary McKnight? Amari Cooper wants to come back to Dallas. He also has a house there. I wouldn't be mad if they brought back Amari Cooper. Don't know be the best. I wish they would have brought back Gilly last year. I said the same thing. Oh, man. So the Aziz went to the Giants. Man. The Cowboys have got to get Micah Parsons an edge rusher in this free agency. They have got to get him an edge rusher. They have to. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen him, Chanel, on the Cowboys. They have got to get him an edge rusher. They got to get this man an edge rusher. They got to get him some help. JRP, he says nothing. The Cowboys suck. Nothing will happen. Man. Sharon Milner. Okay, the Falcons released Jared. Okay. Let me go check that out in a minute. Dono said we got to deal with Osa. He said Milton not worth all that. Well, again, this is one of the issues with that day one, man. Is some people are going to get overpaid. Anthony B, he said get rid of DeMarcus Lawrence for sure. Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence has kind of got himself out of here because they're not paying him that money. Let me get some more in here. What's going on, Gary McKnight? Andre Mose in the crib. What's going on with you? He said the Cowboys are going to get Dre Greenlaw. Man, I hope so. Wicked. Boy, hey, let me tell you. They just took your boy Justin Fields, too. That could spell that either Aaron Rodgers is coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers or they're going to bring back one Russell Wilson. Irving Green said all of them will be gone. Not a one of them will be a Cowboy. Santiago, what's going on? Santiago, boy, you had me laughing, man. Yeah. Give me Bama boy Jonathan Allen to Hargraves. Hey, they got to go after one of them. If not one, I would love to go after two and get Greenlaw. I want them to do something on defense. The offense, I'm not worried about it. It's just too much in the draft. We don't have to worry about that. Wilson says getting Greenlaw's pipe dream. We can see. Irving Green, yeah, Keenan is too expensive for us, especially for day one. For the Cowboys to get Keenan Allen, he's going to have to sit there for at least a day or two. The Raiders missed yet again. They might move up in the draft for a quarterback. Didn't the Raiders get Geno Smith? Yeah, they got Geno Smith. No, they're gonna be fine. I don't think they're gonna try to move up for no quarterback. Jose, what's going on? He said, what is he waiting for? All the good names are gone. Every year he said, I'm so sick and tired of this owner. Yeah, no DK. I haven't heard Lockett's name called. Raiders working with Rico. Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, I'm with you, J Cox 30. Man, it was a big mistake not signing Jordan Lewis. Yeah, that was a bad move. I don't like that one. I wish they would have signed Jordan Lewis, but they've been doing this with Jordan Lewis. And Jordan Lewis just finally said, man, I got to get my money. The Raiders screwed up or really like one of the two quarterbacks, but maybe someone good falls to the Cowboys. Well, like I said, I can tell you this. The Raiders got their quarterback. You can book it. Ashton Jeanty is going to the Raiders. Even if they get Rico Dowdle, I think they're going to get Ashton Jeanty. Irvin, yeah, there's some bad blood with the Amari Cooper and Dallas Cowboy things. Wilson Santiago, Greenlaw to the Commanders. Is that real? Let's see here. Been refreshing on NFL.com. Let's see. Okay, let's see. So Justin Fields, 2-year deal, $40 million, $30 million guaranteed. So basically it's a 2-year deal, $15 million a year, or a 1-year deal. $30 million though, I mean, hey man, it's a 2-year deal, nothing to sniff at. I mean, 2-year deal, I would do it with the Jets because at least I can get up out of there. If things don't work out, they'll probably cut you anyway in one season, so you'll be fine. I just think Justin Fields is a lot better than what he's been, than kind of what's been going on. I think one of the things that happened with him, he came out so quick. I mean, he came in and immediately the Bears threw him into the fire. And I just don't think he was ready for that, especially with the Bears. Yeah, the Jets got Fields, hadn't seen anything on Greenlaw yet. Yep, they are falling off the board. And when you look down through here, there's a couple of teams that have absolutely done nothing. Now, what we've done, if you look on our chart, you would think we've been a little bit busy. But the reality is we've just been signing our own players. I mean, that's all we've been doing. So we'll see what happens as it goes on. But again, I told you, I think the Cowboys have a plan. We're just not going to like it. We're just not going to like the plan is the problem. Yeah, we're not going to like the Cowboys' plan. Because whoever they got targeted, you can tell that it's not some of the people that have been signed, because if they had targeted those people, they would have signed them. Yep, they would have signed them. So Jose Ortega said, oh, yeah, okay, I got your Jose Ortega. I read yours already. Appreciate you rocking with me today. See, I hadn't seen where it says Greenlaw is gone. Who did you say Greenlaw went to? I see Kinlaw, but I don't see Greenlaw. And from what I can tell, the San Francisco 49ers haven't been busy either. So the San Francisco 49ers are basically telling us they're kind of like on a they're calling themselves probably on a rebuild also. I mean, they are doing some serious traded Deebo Samuel, some of the players they've let go of. The San Francisco 49ers are obviously saying we're about to rebuild through the draft too. I guess they feel like they've made their Super Bowl runs and they fell short. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Ty Church, what's going on with you, my man? Yeah, I was thinking it was Kinlaw, not Greenlaw. Greenlaw's still out there. Jigga Man. Yes, sir. This is the day you get overpaid. Everybody's getting overpaid today. You can see the numbers. Maybe tomorrow. Jigga Man, I said they were not going to do anything on day one. Kitty Boy, all the impact players that we need are signing contracts somewhere else. How much better are we going to be if we keep waiting to make moves? I think what they're thinking, and I'm speculating here, but again, I knew the Cowboys were not going to do anything day one, so I'm not disappointed in that. Let me go back through here on the top 100 free agents, 103 free agents. I'm sure that it's been updated. There are still some good players out here. We just got to just be patient. I'm wondering if Josh Sweat makes it to day two. Josh Sweat is still out here. I would love for the Cowboys to get Josh Sweat. Kavarius Ward, again, still out here. Talanoa Hufanga, still out here. Greenlaw, of course, still out here. Got a couple of safeties still out here. Defensive tackles. Somebody tell me about Levi Owazorier or whatever his name is. He's still out here. Asante Samuel. I would like for them to maybe kick the tires on him. Let's see here. Chase Young still out here. Colts edge rusher Dayo is still out here. There are still some players out here. Looks like this hasn't been updated. Aziz, the Giants linebacker, he is off of here. But there are still some players on defense. But we'll see what they do. But again, I just didn't expect day one stuff from the Cowboys. I just didn't. It's just not their style. They don't want to risk giving up, as Jigga Man said, everybody getting overpaid today. One thing the Cowboys don't want to do is overpay, which I do. I just think sometimes in life you have to overpay for some things. I mean, if you really want that thing, sometimes you got to overpay for it. Jay Cox said, once again, we sit back and watch our division get better. Get your thumb out your butt, Jerry, and do something. Man, I'm going to tell you, them doggone Washington Commanders have definitely gotten better. Yeah, I agree with you there, JRP. Cheap. Bama Boy said, breaking news. For everyone but us, Jerry, get your put and prove your fans wrong for once. Do coaching staff. Yeah, you just said something right there, Bama Boy. The coaching staff needs it. They do. Yeah, they need something. For sure. Yeah, they need something bad. Wilson Santiago. He said Greenlaw getting too expensive for the Cowboys. He said 5 teams are fighting for him right now. Wow. Troy Dudley, good news. We are good at drafting cornerbacks, and I think we're going in the draft to get a cornerback for sure. Yeah, that Justin Fields to the Jets thing, I'm glad that deal right there is not too bad. That deal's not too bad. At least he doesn't have to go there and be there for 3 and 4 and 5 years. Jay Cox said we will sign 5 guys. He said we're going to sign 5 guys for a total of $20 million. Oh, man. Boy, I'm rolling. Let me see here. Got a super chat. See what we got here. Appreciate you. Man, Neo, update us again. Dio, gone. Just went to the Bears. Wow. Man, that is crazy. Let me turn over to X. Clarence Hill is asking on X. Clarence Hill just said an hour ago, he said, when will Cowboys sign an outside free agent? Today, tomorrow, or by the weekend? Let me see what else we got here. Everybody's waiting on the outside free agents. Yeah, I'm loving it over here because I believe Michael Parsons probably feels the same way about this Jordan Lewis deal. I'm telling you guys, the Cowboys been jacking Jordan Lewis around for a while. That boy been a dog for sure. That boy been a dog. Michael Parsons posted, he said, dog, earned for sure. Congrats, family. Definitely going to be missed. Yeah, he a dog. I just think this one right here is going to be one of those ones that the Cowboys got to show enough going to draft and get a cornerback because I'm telling you, this dude was good. And I said it and I'll say it again. He was the hands down best defensive back on the Cowboys team in 2024. Yeah, that boy got his money. Okay, it does say, wait, let me see what this is. Okay, this is the usual deal here. It says the Cowboys, Adam Schefter. I don't know if this is even. John Machota, the Cowboys have made a move. They're talking about they've signed a long snapper. Through a 3-year deal. Oh, man, they got me rolling up in here. Yeah, I think one of the things the Cowboys really need to be thinking about is definitely the Greenlaw, Ward. I mean, and again, Josh Sweat. I still would love for the Cowboys to go pick him up. The Cowboys need some depth. I know they have some players coming back, but the Cowboys need depth because if those players wound up getting hurt again, you're going to be in the same situation. But again, if you just listen to Jerry Jones, I told y'all Jerry Jones needs an interpreter. Jerry said the last time they talked to him, he said if everything goes the way we wanted in the draft, he said we're going to be, he said we're not going to be aggressive. So I'm telling you guys, he's told us what he's doing. That's why I said temper your expectations. I think there are a few more players out here, but we're going to see. All right, let me get to a few more of your comments. Gary said in the coming days, we will have to revisit the meaning of selective aggressiveness coming from Stephen Jones. Hey, Gary McKnight, Jerry is going to give this press nothing but bulletin board material. They'll be reporting on his selectively aggressive because when he said all in, they went with the young guys. Selectively aggressive. What does it mean? I already knew it wasn't going to be day one. But let's see what happens. He said, I'm on the record on this challenge translating it to bargain basement shopping. We're going to see. But I'm telling you, man, I think the Cowboys already had a plan. I think they had a plan coming into this thing. And I think if there were some people that were on their free agency board, they were waiting on those players' price to drop. And it's not happening. So, or either it's not happening or the player who they want is still there. Dono be the best. Yeah, that's a bag for Justin Fields. Boy, I bet he's ecstatic, man. I bet he's ecstatic Dono be the best. He'll probably be out the door in a year, but hey, I'll take $30 million for 1 year. What's going on with you, Jared Thomas? Good to see you. Sam Cosby, what's going on? He said, I've been saying this for years now that this franchise has 2 more. The problem is this, Sam. We don't have true GMs. That's tough. Jared Thomas says there's an opening for us to get Grady Jarrett. We need a solidified star at the defensive tackle, nose tackle spot. I'm not going to be surprised if there's another, I think the Cowboys will do some signings that will not surprise us. Waiting on Will Hernandez. Waiting on that shoe to drop. So I'm kind of surprised that we haven't heard that. That would just be an easy signing for the Cowboys. Damon Bama boy, yeah, I would love to get Jonathan Allen. Yes, Wicked, they got your boy. They got your boy. Looks like you're going to be having Russell Wilson back in the crib. Yeah, Bambo boy, that J. Lou thing hurt, man. That hurt. D Law, they not. Hey, D Law, he want. Somebody said 14 million earlier. Ain't no way. Yeah, D Law gonna be up out of here. They go. I bet you they go draft him. Bambo boy. They probably gonna draft that slot. Jared Thomas. They were talking about it on the broadcast, but I said it before. Even them. Justin Fields. He's got to throw down the field. That's the only issue with Justin Fields. He's got to throw the ball down the field. And I think that's one of the issues the Steelers had with him is that he wouldn't go down the field. Yeah, you know what? I think they tried to wait him out and get a cheaper price. Bama boy, Dante Fowler. Did the Cowboys pick up Dante Fowler? Let me see here. Let me see. I don't see it yet. Maybe they'll update it. All right, let me see. Hadn't seen anything on Dante Fowler, if that's what you mean. Yeah, Dante Fowler. Now that's what you call a bargain basement right there. And I don't know if I didn't want him back. Dan Quinn didn't even want him back, so I'd be kind of like skeptical about bringing him back. Yep, nothing yet. Nothing yet. Yeah, they may have tried to wait Justin Fields out. Looks like they were going to get him, but didn't happen. Man, I'm telling you, boy, if they bring in this doggone Najee Harris, man, I'm gonna be sick. But Najee Harris, I'm still thinking that Najee Harris wouldn't deter the Cowboys from going and get a running back in the draft. At least I hope that's the case. Yeah, they did, Jerry, and they screwed up the deal with Amari. Somebody said Cooper Kupp. I thought somebody said Cooper Kupp went to the Lions, which I haven't seen or heard, but somebody said that he was going to the Lions. Daryl Nelson said we'll suck again. You just hold on. Byron, hey, what's going on, my man Byron DeVee? He said play loose ends, hanging on a string. Yeah. The Cowboys, like I said, I'm sure they had every intention on not doing anything today. So they're just saying we're gonna wait till tomorrow. I think this is when we'll start hearing the Cowboys' name. And I said it in the beginning. I didn't think we'd hear their name day one. And you know, it's kind of funny when you start talking about they say free agency opens up on Wednesday. No, free agency is done on Wednesday. The only thing teams are doing are signing those deals. Free agency is done on Wednesday. It'll be nothing even just, it'll be pretty much done. Yeah, I'm with you, Kitty boy. He said more for less doesn't always work. Yep. I'm one of those people, man. I tell you, because I tell people all the time, there are certain things. My mom used to always tell me there's just certain things you don't go cheap on. My mom would tell me that, and she would tell me, for example, she said, don't go cheap on your shoes. She said, you have to stand on your feet all day long. You got to walk. You got to do all kinds of things on your feet. My mom told me, she said, hey, you make sure you always spend money on your shoes. Always wear nice shoes, things of that nature. All right, I was just trying to see what any kind of updates here. All right, let's see here. I think Dallas is targeting Cooper Kupp, waiting on him. Yeah, I think there may be something brewing with Cooper Kupp. I wish the Cowboys would try to make a deal for Trey Hendrickson. Only problem with Trey Hendrickson is now that the price for these edge rushers has went up so high now. The Cowboys, if they got Trey Hendrickson, it would literally be a 1-year deal. Yeah, Ashton Jeanty is better than Najee Harris. Oh, yeah, for sure. I just wouldn't touch a running back in this free agency. It just doesn't make sense to me. Because the money you would have to pay him wouldn't make sense to me. Yeah, Milton Williams, sheesh. Yeah, he got paid, boy. Paid. And yeah, he's a rotational player. Big time paid to be a rotational player. Cowboys are $54 million under the cap right now. Jay Cox, they had to create that money to do something. We're gonna see. Darius Slade, no way. Okay, NFL Network, they're talking about Justin Fields right now. Yeah, Darius Slade. But you know what's crazy, Mills? It wouldn't shock me if the Cowboys went after something like that because Slade gonna be cheap. Yeah, Hurts can throw it better. Fields is a lot faster than Hurts. Yeah, that boy Justin Fields got some speed, man. He got some speed for sure. Man. Hey, man, Mills, that boy Darius Slade been showing out, man. He been doing some Parsons type stuff. He gave his top 5 quarterbacks, man. He didn't even bring up Jalen Hurts. This is after the Super Bowl win. I'm like, yeah, man, who do that? Who does that? Jay Recruiter, you dropping facts. All these teams overpaying. Steven don't like to overpay. See, what they like to do, Jay Recruiter, they like to underpay. They like to underpay. And I think the Cowboys are depending upon a lot of their players coming back from rehab. Jerry said Greenlaw, I think, should consider going to the Bengals. Well, with some of these players, they got to consider what are they looking for. Mike McCain, what's going on? He said, this is not how this was supposed to go. We are not supposed to overreact day one, but this is getting really bad, especially losing our biggest dog on defense by doing nothing. Yeah, that J. Lou was bad, man. You actually got worse on defense today than getting better. And like I said, I didn't anticipate anything today. I'm anticipating the Cowboys start doing things tomorrow. I'm with you, Mr. Kima. Yeah, it was probably gonna be J. Lou last big contract, so I'm with it. The first week of free agency and trades, Dallas Cowboys will sign Super Bowl drought. Hey, man, we're going to see it. I guarantee you tomorrow something goes down. Mills, yeah, we got that long snapper, boy. We always get that. Jay Cox said selectively retarded. Chanel said, gee, Sweat would be a good pickup. Hey, man, Chanel, that's who I'm holding out hope for right there. Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat would make everything okay. Josh Sweat, I'm cool. And then, hey, do whatever you want to do after that. But Josh Sweat, I would love to see them get Josh Sweat. They got a lot of cap space. They can be doing some stuff. They're just not doing it. But again, KC, they have a plan. Again, I told us. We probably don't like the plan. But the Cowboys got a plan. Waterboy. Anthony Billy said they got to play the side of Waterboy. Troy Dudley said, I remember so many Cowboy fans saying Jay Lou could not play. Man, that Jordan Lewis been a dog, man. He been a dog. Don't be the best. Said there'll be plenty of decent good players you won't have to overpay. Yeah, tomorrow I think the Cowboys going to go to work. And don't get right. I think that's what I got to go back and look at his name, but I'm sure he's still on here. I think the Cowboys are trying to get value with the money, so I think tomorrow they're going to probably go in and start doing some work. Mirko, are we confident and nervous that the Cowboys have to land on almost every draft pick this year? We need dogs that can play right away in the draft. Too many holes. I'm confident. I think they'll be fine. Carl Abro said, gee, I now see it was Jimmy that brought back the Cowboys' glory days. All did was to buy the team and sign the check. Yes, sir. He was a part of it, but yeah. Denver working with Hufanga. Yeah, their defense is already great. Shark on land. Safety got signed. Talking about Marquise Bell. Oh, Hufanga. Oh, man. Hufanga gone. Mirko. Mills has been saying it. He said, I bet Dallas signs Najee Harris. Dono said if they don't pay Micah, that's when we should get PO'd. Now, the thing about Micah Parsons is actually already signed. Micah Parsons is on his 5th-year option. That doesn't mean the Cowboys shouldn't have a sense of urgency to sign him or extend him, I should say. They should have already extended him because it's only costing them more money not to extend Micah Parsons. And Micah Parsons said he ain't sweating it. Yeah, he clearly said he's not sweating it. Him and Jerry, I guess they got this great relationship, so he said he's not sweating it. Wilson Santiago said Cup literally has one good leg. Bill Sharp, Wednesday is done, but Dallas begins free agency on Wednesday. Yeah, free agency is over Wednesday. The Cowboys got to get busy tomorrow, for sure. Ron said I should have been a long snapper. Please, no Cup. Wilson is right. He on one leg. Don't be surprised. Do not be surprised they bring him in. Do not be surprised. Neo, appreciate that super chat. This is tough right here, Neo. You said Jerry and Steven won't pay over $3 million for an outside free agent, but are willing to wait and let the price rise and rise and rise for their own guys. Boy, you just said something. That's tough, but it's true. Yeah, that's tough. I think this is one of the part that I could understand some of the waiting. The part that I can't understand waiting on paying your own players that you know you're going to sign. That's the part that I don't understand. That's the part I do not understand. Okay, so it's being reported by Josina Anderson. The Cowboys, let's show you the headline here. It's being reported by Josina Anderson. The Cowboys are tied to one Dre Greenlaw. There's also 3 other teams, the Broncos, the Titans, and the Texans. So the Cowboys are one of the teams that are after Dre Greenlaw. So let's hope that one signed. Let's hope this one can go through. Vosh Lombardi says it's some overpaying going on today. The Joneses ain't wrong about day one spending. I'll see what they do on Wednesday. Yeah, some of these players are getting overpaid. Some of them are getting overpaid. But I also see where some of them are getting overpaid. But I'm also in this particular crowd. But when you want somebody or when you want something, sometimes you got to overpay a little bit for what you want, if you really want it. But again, I think the Cowboys have already targeted some players. They're just kind of waiting to get that. They're trying to smoke them out and get that price. Again, someone mentioned lost my train of thought. But again, the Cowboys, when you think about all of this, they're trying to smoke these players out. And I'm not going to be surprised again. Cooper Kupp, I'm just not going to be surprised. Cowboy fans talk over old X. He got me laughing over here. And he says, if we get Kavarius Ward, I'll feel better. Man, we to the point right now, I think everybody just wants the Cowboys to do something. And if the Cowboys got Ward, people would go crazy. if the Cowboys got Greenlaw, people would go crazy. Man. Stargazer, she said, I know I'm going to get killed for this, but I don't want J. Lou back. I think he's very good, but I just think at his age, you can get younger, bigger, faster. Congrats to him, though. Only fears that the Cowboys will do nothing and force us to pick a corner top of the draft. That's a great take. But again, hey, I'm happy J. Lou got his money, though. The Cowboys for way too long have not paid J. Lou. And again, I'm telling you, man, when you get these older players, it's the chip or the check. I think he went for the check. J. Lou got tired of the one-year deals. J. Lou went for the check. Can't blame him. Really can't. Let me start with my man Anthony B. He says D-Law has to go, especially since losing to the Packers last year, and his excuse was to take first take. Oh, yeah, we was tired. Yeah. Fields will make the Jets contenders. You heard it here first. Shaking my head. We're going to see. Darius Lee is gone, okay? Oh, Darius Slay. Whoa, Darius Slay to the Steelers. I can see that. I can see Mike Tomlin being able to get something out of Darius Slay. I can see that. Yep, I can see that. Even though I don't think the Cowboys are thinking about Darius Slay, but I can definitely see that. Yes, sir, KC, what's going on? We sitting here. We say it's a free agency frenzy, but it's not for the Cowboys. The Cowboys going day 2. I told y'all before the Cowboys are going day 2. Mr. Kingman, he said, I don't see Dre Greenlaw going to the Bengals because they are just as cheap as the Cowboys. Well, the Cowboys, Mr. Kingman, they're in that. Whatever's going on, the Cowboys in the middle of it. We're going to see. Top Gunner, he says, not a good look if you're contemplating bringing back or keeping players like Amari or D-Law. Shaking my head, all the good players are slowly but surely going elsewhere. Yeah, the Cowboys, they don't want to hit that day 1. They don't want to hit that day 1. They're going to hit that day 2. Whoa, Mike McCain reported Josh Sweat and the Cardinals reached an agreement on a 4-year deal worth $76.4 million. $41 million guaranteed. Wow. Appreciate that, Mike McCain. Wow. Get right to get left. Now, get right to get left. Okay, that's you who I was talking about. Get right to get left. Get right to get left. Now, the problem is hope from man's perspective is dangerous. Hope is actually supposed to be an expectation. Unfortunately, I'm using the world's definition of hope. Yeah. So it looks like the Cowboys have left us high and dry with Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat is gone. Josh Sweat is gone. Man. Okay. Cowboys got a plan. Freddie Morales, what's going on? El Paso. Going pretty good, man. It's going good. Cowboys doing exactly what I thought they would do. Gary McKnight, exactly. It's the nature of the business. It's the nature of the business. That's why I say sometimes when you want something, you got to overpay for it. Call my man, what's going on? Gee, he said it would be valuable to borrow. Hey, man, I'm telling us. Sometimes when you want something, you just got to overpay for it. It's just the bottom line. If you see something and you want it, sometimes you got to overpay for it because it won't be there when you go back. Josh Sweat to Arizona. Yes, sir. Opium is just as addictive and deadly as the other of opiums. Yes, sir. I like what you said there. KC, we have to relax with this free agency stuff. Prior to this 7-10 season, we went 12-5 3 times with value shopping. Coaches were our downfall. Woo! Like what you said there. I like that, KC. Yes, sir. Josh Sweat, yeah, the Cardinals. Dallas plans worked in 30. He said Dallas' players that worked in 30 years. Dodo be the best. I'm happy to pay an average player good money than a good player great money. Woo! You said something again. Boy, you said something again. Dodo be the best. I feel you on that. Oh, you talking about are we talking about Michael Parsons? Let's see here. Not pissed about waiting to pay Parsons because one thing I know is with the Cowboys is they wait to pay, but you don't see players coming back in the middle of camp with them too often holding out. Neo is truly the one. Yes, sir. He said, yes, G. Right. Why would Michael sweat, especially if he ball out? Can you imagine how much? Oh, man. Whoo, call. He will break the proverbial bank, brother. He will break the bank. Running back Boston Scott. Cowboys signed him to a 1-year deal also. Okay. So we got to sign him by the Cowboys? Mills is saying Boston Scott. Okay, let me see. I know that's going to make Cowboys fans happy. Let me see here. Okay, I don't see anything on that. Are you saying that's something that they will do, or? Let me see here. Greenlaw will go to the Broncos. Sean Payton, a real coach and great culture. Let's see. Ron said on the conclusion he can come to is the Joneses don't care about winning or are totally incompetent. Neither is good. Vouch spitting. Most of these players ain't worth half of what they're getting. Yes, sir. They're going to pay Greenlaw. Yeah, they'll have to pay Greenlaw if they get him. Ward, Greenlaw, Samuel Jr., and Sweat equals reset defense. Well, we got our boy Josh Sweat is off the board. So now we got to see if they do Ward, Greenlaw, or Samuel. Yeah, that's Sweat to the Cardinals. Chanel, he said all these AFC teams are trying to get players to beat KC. That is all they're waiting for. Yes, sir. I agree with you. 1,000%. Freddie said some fans want the boys to sign big names, big money free agents just for the headlines, even if they aren't any good anymore, as long as those players have big headlines, afternoon attention-grabbing names. You know what? But I'm going to tell you something. KC, that is the statement of the day. I think KC made it. I think we're going to hear the Cowboys on day 2. And I believe the Cowboys may be telling us we're confident in our coaching. And there are some players out there that may not go day 1 that if we add them to this team with the coaching and the culture that we've now installed, and then when we do our draft, we're going to be great. So I'm interested to see what they do tomorrow. I'm very interested to see what they do tomorrow. Because, again, I said it, temper your expectations. I just didn't think the Cowboys were going to do anything day 1. I didn't. Jay Recruiter, oh, man, you up in there saying some things people might not like. My man Jay Recruiter, he said the Cowboys need to trade Michael for picks. He's not getting younger, and one man can't carry a team on defense. Man, let me tell you something. Jay Recruiter, if the Cowboys traded Michael Parsons, they would break the internet. They would break the internet. They would. Chanel, Josh Sweat deal is a better deal than our contract to Osa. Yep. Now, Chanel, I made some enemies talking about overpaying Oso Digizua. I'm not tripping on the deal. But, yeah. And the problem is the Cowboys, if they would have let Osa walk, that would have mean that they would have had to come into this free agency and replace him or really take that gamble in the draft. But they didn't want to do either one. Top Gunner said if they have a player and the fans don't like it, is it really a play? Hey, they got a plan. They got a plan. When the players come out of this free agency, we'll see how it all shakes down. But they're getting players in free agency. You don't clear the $50 million because you didn't need to do that to sign Micah. They've cleared this money to get players. Anthony Billings, I'm the same way with you on that. I'd overpay to win a Super Bowl like the Eagles. Sometimes you got to, but you got to pick and choose where you do it. Chanel is making a point, for example, he doesn't think Oso Digizua is where you do it. He's not hating. I know he's not hating on Oso Digizua, but I think, again, Chanel is making the point that Oso Digizua may not be where you do it at. Cowboys won't get into a bidding war with Greenlaw. Now it's 17s for him and 4 for Ward. Wow. Yeah, Greenlaw, man, going to be hot. Chanel said, I'll say it again, the Cowboys have not done anything in 30 years to better their team, to help their quarterbacks. This is a shame. Yeah, you know what, Chanel, and I think they're going to try to do all that in the draft. And it's going to be a gamble, but they're going to try to do it in the draft. Jorge George, what's going on? He said, I hope I'm just speaking too soon. I'm going to make a butt of myself, but if Mr. Ware, we talk speculation, said this free agency period was going to be different, I think it's going to be different. But again, I told us, temper our expectations. Temper our expectations. I didn't think we were going to do anything on day one. Let's see what happens on day two. Because the reality is they're saying it starts on Wednesday, but it's already started. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday is where you're going to get the, how can I put it? These are going to be the role players. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. These are the players that are going to be the role players. So we'll see what happens. Jorge George, I'm still there. Trust and believe. But I told you, we were not doing anything day one. I told you straight up. Mills said, Josh Sweat is overpaid. He said 8.5 sacks, $76 million. He said, I'm happy Sweat got the bag. I am too. That's a lot of cheese, for sure. Najee Harris, Boston Scott, and Noah Brown, also a punter. Man, you stacking that list up. Chanel said there's been no NFL franchise that has won the Super Bowl without playing in all three aspects of the NFL. Those three things are drafting, trading, or free agency. Yeah, I agree. Now, Chanel, I'm telling you, I think one of their issues is, again, they're not going to do anything today. I think they'll be a lot more active tomorrow. I shouldn't say a lot more active. I think they're going to be active tomorrow. Yeah, that Josh Sweat deal, man. But hey, I'm telling you, man, free agency is the place to be. If you have a halfway decent season and you coming up on your contract, boy, you hit the lottery. You hit the lottery in free agency, man. It just is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. You hit the lottery in free agency. If you're just halfway good, you hit the lottery. And these players, they're getting overpaid for sure. That's one of the reasons why, too, I say you have to really stay focused on the guaranteed money. Because that's probably all a lot of these players are going to see. It's the guaranteed money. That's probably all they're going to see. That's it. Some of these players will get cut before those deals are done. Because that's how those deals are designed, to cut them before those deals come to full fruition. They know full well what they're doing. And again, that's why they do the guaranteed money. So, nature of the beast at this time of the season. Man, you come up over free agency, you had you had a decent year, man. Boy, you about to get paid. There, man, you about to get paid. Troy Dudley said, has one contending team signed a player yet? Boy, you just said something. Nope. I think the reality of it is that it's the teams that are trying to contend. Now, Troy, let's talk about something that you just said. Contending team. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something that is not going to set right with some of y'all. But the Cowboys consider themselves a contending team. Y'all do know the Cowboys don't consider themselves a 7-10 team, right? Bill Parcells said you are what your record says you are. But the Cowboys are saying, but with a caveat. Y'all do know the Cowboys are saying that they're not a 7-10 team. The Cowboys are saying we're a 7-10 team because we got hurt. Because had we not got hurt, they're saying that we would have probably been a 10-7 or an 11-16. And while I don't know where I go with is how much of a contender, I do think the Cowboys win 3 more games with Dak Prescott. I think they might have won 4 more games, especially had they started running Rico Dowdle the way they were. The Cowboys see themselves as contenders. I know that may not sit well with some of us. Y'all give me the pushback, but I'm telling you, they don't see themselves as they don't see themselves as a 7-10 team. They flip those numbers. They probably see themselves as a 10-7 team. And the only reason why we were 7-10 is because of injury. That's where the Cowboys are. I know we don't like it. I know it may not sound right. That's where the Cowboys are. The Cowboys believe, at least in my estimation, I believe the Cowboys believe they are unequivocally a contender. And so when you say, Troy, has one contending team signed a player yet? The Cowboys see themselves as a contender. And where some of us saw they need urgency to sign some of these players that have been signed. The Josh Sweats, I would have loved to see him sign Josh Sweat. I mean, just think of some of the players that have been signed off the board. We can go down the line in a moment. But again, I don't think the Cowboys think they need those. Troy Dudley is saying something when he says what contenders have signed, what contenders have signed players. The Cowboys, as arrogant and as crazy as some of us may view that, the Cowboys don't think they need as much as maybe some of us think they need or who we think they need. Why? Because they're saying, y'all need to understand something. 7-10 was with injured players. We got all of our players coming back. Overshown mid-season. Trayvon Diggs, beginning of the season. We're going to replace Trayvon Diggs or start working on replacing Trayvon Diggs. We are going to do some things in free agency. They're not going to be those day one people because they're saying we don't need those day one players because we are contenders. We went 7-10 with an injured. We went 7-10 with an injured team. So we're going to play on day 2, and we're going to get high value players. Don't get me wrong. I believe they are trying to get Greenlaw. I believe they are trying to snag Greenlaw. They want a player like a Greenlaw, and probably didn't expect the price for Greenlaw coming off an injury. They probably didn't expect it to escalate the way that it has. They're going to go after Greenlaw. I'm not going to be surprised. They go after Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen is probably going to be a day 2 guy. Wouldn't be surprised. Again, I'm not going to be surprised if I hear Tyler Lockett's name. I'm not going to be surprised. But the Cowboys on day 2, they're going to go in and get some players that they feel like, hey, because we are already, at least in their eyes, they're like, we're kind of already where we need to be if we get back healthy. And then when we go in the draft and get our running back, get us a wide receiver, get us a defensive tackle, get us a cornerback, go to the 5th round, clean house. And who knows what else they do to get back in the 4th round, or maybe someone, who knows what else happens. Jerry told us, and I'm telling you, Jerry needs an interpreter. Jerry told us exactly what they were going to do. Aggressive is the wrong word. They want someone they feel that makes them better. and they don't feel like it's these day one guys. I do think they believe that Greenlaw may make them better, and that's why they're in the conversation for Greenlaw. But everyone else, they're waiting out to day two. Just like DeMarcus Lawrence. They're telling DeMarcus Lawrence, let me show, hey, there's more than one way to skin a cat. You're not going to tell us that you've given us a number. We're going to let you take that number out in the free agency and show you that you're not worth that number. And the number we showed you, we're going lower than that when you come back if we want you to play. But again, the Cowboys, Troy, you may not realize what you put here, but the Cowboys do not consider themselves a 7-10 team. The Cowboys are literally saying, had we not got hurt, we probably were a 10-win or 11-win team. Y'all tell me what you think in the comments. But I'm telling you, that's where they are. I'm telling you, that's where they are. Don't all be the best said. He said the average starter is available until Friday. We'll see. But I don't think the Cowboys are going to wait till Friday. I think what they waited on, don't know be the best, and I could be wrong. I think what they waited on was to get all of the cream off the top. That's what they waited on. Okay, all the overpaid players, let's let them go. Tuesday is when, okay, this is where the players we want to delve in. These are these players. And then we'll work on getting deals, and we'll either get them signed Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. But you get all the cream first day. There'll hardly be no cream left. Doesn't mean, now I don't know about y'all, but when I go get a milkshake, for some reason these days they be putting like milk. They want to put like whipped cream and cherries on top. Make it, no, I don't want the whipped cream or the cherry. I want the shake. That's what I want. And the Cowboys are basically saying we're not taking the high-paid players because we think we can build our team without them. I think that's what they're saying. Neo, appreciate that super chat. Yes, sir. Thank you for giving me a better word. But again, day one, let all the cream go. Day two, that's where the shake is. Day one, guys, you'll overpay. Day two is where the value is. This is where we're going to see the Cowboys doing the most playing. Tomorrow, and I said this, not that I'm Nostradamus, but I said this. Temper your expectations. Do not expect the Cowboys to be doing a lot on day one, and it's exactly how I expected. It's exactly how I expected. Day one, just don't expect a lot. I mean, I'm hoping. I wish they would have got Josh Sweat. But again, day two, I believe, which will be, Tuesday, is where I think they're going to play. I think they're going to play tomorrow. But again, I'm telling you, man, y'all might not believe me what I'm telling you. This team thinks they're better. When I was listening to the Oso Digizua conversation with Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco, the way they think to me is kind of amazing. Because Oso Digizua was even saying, we didn't quit, we finished strong, we kept our attitude and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just kind of like, okay, I mean, I can't really tell you how to think inside the locker room, but that's kind of where they were. Some of them are thinking like that. And when you think like that, they don't think they're a 7-10 team. They think they're a 10-7 team who was injured, or an 11-6 team who was injured. And so for them, day two is perfect. Day two is perfect because they feel like this is where we're going to get our impact players. We're going to see. Mike McCain, he said it doesn't matter what they see themselves as. It matters is what they actually are. And what they actually are not contenders as it currently stands. And again, Mike McCain, Bill Parcells said, you are what your record says you are. But can we add context? We just watched a team with bad culture and bad coaching go 12-5, 3 seasons in a row. Even when things were going bad, I believe once they hit the soft part of their schedule, the Cowboys still probably could have mustered out another 3 wins. They almost did it with Cooper Rush and the injuries. In their minds, contextually, they're not believing it. They're not believing it. They may be having their Uncle Rico moments. I don't know if anyone's seen Napoleon Dynamite, but Uncle Rico said we would have went to the state championship had they put me in the game. I'm just telling us, man, context, some people, man, they deal in context, man. They don't deal in just the face value of a reality. They want to deal with, okay, the face value of a reality is this, Mike McCain. If you're in that locker room, is your reality this? We were 7-10. But is your reality also this? With injuries. We didn't have our quarterback. We were a musical chair in the secondary. Our linebackers, our edge rusher D-Law. I mean, so many players were lost. Are you saying in your locker, if you're in that locker room, are you thinking glass half empty? I always say this, glass half empty, glass half full. Are you in that locker room saying we're 7-10 because we're terrible, or we're 7-10 because of injury? Because I think they're saying we're 7-10 because of injury. I do. I think that's what they see. And so they're just using this for context. Azteca, Broncos, Texans, and Cowboys are interested in Dre Greenlaw. Yeah, they're trying to get it done. Hey, Azteca, what's going on with you today? I tell you this. If the Cowboys front office want to make everyone feel better, get Greenlaw. I just think Greenlaw would be a good pick up altogether. It's not even about pleasing the fan base. But I do think the fan base would be absolutely happy if they were able to get Greenlaw. But again, here becomes the problem, as some of you have been talking about. Teams are willing to overpay in free agency. And Greenlaw is about to get the bag. Greenlaw's about to get the bag. He is. Because if you got 3 or 4 teams after you, somebody's about to give you the bag. And if I'm Greenlaw coming from California, the 2 teams that stand out to me, if I'm looking at money, would be the Texans and the Cowboys. And if I'm looking at winning, I'm looking at the Texans and the Cowboys. No state tax, cost of living down here, totally different than in Denver. I would be looking at the Texans or the Cowboys. Primetime Sports, he said Cowboys waiting for the clearance rack bongers as usual. I don't think he's waiting for the clearance, but I definitely think he's waiting for all this day one stuff to be done with. But again, they are trying to get Greenlaw. I want to see what else they're doing. I don't think we're going to hear the end of this. Freddie says, and again, in the second Super Bowl versus the Pittsburgh, against the Pittsburgh, the boys only had 2 players not acquired through the draft, Preston Pearson and Jackie Smith. Jacqueline Nalome said, Josh Sweat going to the Cardinals. Yeah, we missed him. Which I don't even think I say we missed him. I don't think they had him on there. Gary McKnight said, the thing is we weren't playing well even before the injuries. True. Also, consider the severity of the injuries of our impact players. True again. We could be out of playoff contention before they return. Well, it sounds like they're anticipating the majority of them to return in training camp. Yeah, in training camp. Don't know be the best. I agree. They probably start playing late tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, that's when they're gonna start playing. That's when they're gonna start playing. Oh no, landlord, just be patient. They are going to do something. They're and again, they're trying to do Greenlaw. Not sure if it's gonna happen. Watch what I tell you. Either later on tonight or tomorrow, we'll start seeing some Dallas Cowboys signings. Carl said not only the Cowboys, though, like that, he said, I also thought like that. If it wasn't for injury, we would have won 10 to 12 games. And I think that's where their mind is, Carl. I think that's where their mind is. And they're also saying, Carl, we need a few pieces in free agency, maybe 3 pieces. And we're going to go in a draft and tear it up. The Cowboys truly believe they're going to tear the draft up. I'm just telling you. They have a draft plan, and I can't tell you what it is, but I can tell you this. The Cowboys think they're going to tear the draft up. They do. They think they're going to tear it up. Carlton Davis got $20 million. Wow. Irving said, why are we optimistic? Irving, I don't know. It's probably just me and a couple others because I don't know if anyone else is optimistic. It's probably just me and a couple others. But again, temporary expectations. I told y'all this was going to happen. I'm not Nostradamus. I just kind of listening to the way they were talking. They were not doing the day one stuff. They're not going to overpay. But they cleared that free agency money for a reason. They're going to use it. Mark my words. Keedy Boy, I would feel better if we signed Jonathan Allen or Dre Greenlaw, which is still a possibility. Don't know be the best said that should tell you all you need to know. I'm telling us. Irving Green, are we better? No, not yet. I agree with you. Not yet. The Patriots spent like $80 million in free agency last season and had a worse record. Woo! Boy, you dropped the bomb right there. Don't know be the best. And they throwing money around now like it's going out of style. Like Chris Tucker at the casino in rush hour, either 2 or 3. Carl said, hey, G, I see your reasoning, and it makes plenty of sense. It's all about the mind and the attitude. Carl, the Cowboys don't see themselves, and I understand what Mike McCain is saying, but the Cowboys don't see themselves like some people see them. And listening to Oso Digizua made me realize that a lot of them don't see themselves. Dak Prescott even. Dak Prescott has in his mind, let me tell y'all about Dak Prescott. And he has to think like this. Dak Prescott think he's him. He does. Whether people agree with him or not, Dak Prescott thinks he's him. And Dak Prescott is saying, look at this. If only they would give me a running game and another wide receiver, I'm him. That's what Dak Prescott thinks about himself. And even Dak Prescott is saying, and if I'm healthy, we're in the playoffs. I'm him. Colin Cowherd said it. I didn't say it. Dak Prescott with a running game is Patrick Mahomes. He's almost unbeatable. That's Colin Cowherd, not me. You don't think Dak believes that too? Well, he's the one with the ability. He's the one that's been playing. Dak thinks he's him. Dak is saying something. We're not 7-10 when I'm healthy. I'm just telling us how this team sees themselves, whether we like it or not. I'm just telling us how this team sees themselves. Rob, appreciate that down in that super chat. Roger said, draft me as the water boy. Now you much rather be, Roger, you much rather be the long snapper. The long snapper got the 3-year deal. Just think about how much that is for a long snapper, man. Azteca said, now that we let Jay Lou go, we should look into drafting safety Malik Starks. Yeah, they're going to probably do something in the draft to replace one Jay Lou. And you know what? I hate we're losing Jay Lou, but I think he's too old for what the Cowboys want to do. They want younger players. And D-Law, you got to understand something. Bro, Cowboys trying to get young except the quarterback. And a quarterback being 30 and 31 years old, we may not realize it, but that's not old for a quarterback. But everyone else, the Cowboys are trying to get younger and younger. And J. Lou didn't figure into the plans. It's obvious because they could have signed J. Lou. Yeah, I'm 70s fan. I'm with you. I didn't want to lose Jordan Lewis, but the Cowboys thought he was expendable. I punched Nazis for fun. He said, I think it's safe to say that this front office will be doing absolutely nothing. This is embarrassing. Yeah, we signed a long snapper. I punch. Just hold on. I'm telling you, man, just hold on. I told us the Cowboys were not doing anything on day one. We were hoping. I was hoping, but I told you they're not doing anything on day one. They're not. They're just not going to overpay. They're just not going to do it. Brian said Myles Garrett has a bum foot. Yeah, and he had a big bank account now. Whoa, Brian the Lion. Brian and the Lion. Josh Sweat's overrated. Hey, but if you want to get paid, here it is. Here it is. This is when you do it. Kuma went to Jacksonville. Yeah, Jacksonville's trying to get better. Top Gunner. I'm tired of hearing players were injured excuse. When they were all healthy, we got blown out a few games. What's the excuse for that? And Top Gunner. Again, I'm just pushing back because I agree with you with what you're saying, but I'm pushing back from this perspective. But if I'm in the locker room, and even if I'm looking at what I saw, but it's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing what happened when they started running the ball. It's amazing, isn't it? Isn't it amazing what happened when Zach Martin went down and how the line got better? It's amazing, isn't it? They're looking at those things saying, this is why we know we're better than that record. They're saying all of these things. And I can't fault them for saying it because, what are you supposed to be saying? I mean, what do we expect them to say? But again, they really think, I'm telling us, the Cowboys think they're better than what that record is. They do. But again, I did not expect the Cowboys to be doing anything today. So it's good. Gary McKnight said, I have selective optimism. He said, certain parts of the team concerns me. Chanel, he says, gee, when the Cowboys start dealing in reality, then they will be a better team. I feel you on that. He said, we were 7-10 because we beat up on bad teams and could not beat good teams at all. Well, that's kind of happened even in it happened in our 12-win seasons too. So I agree with you on that. But again, all I'm doing is pushing at least where I think the mindset of this team is. Listening to Jerry, listening to Steven. I mean, listen to what Steven said in that interview. He said it. He's, they said, hey, Steven, do you regret anything y'all did last year? And Steven said, well, I don't know how to say this, but no. Well, he said it. He said no. He said we were injured. What has Jerry been saying? We're getting a lot of good news. Guys coming off rehab. One of the things they did, they went and hired a new strength and conditioning manager. They're trying to get better in those areas. And so again, they're not looking at this the way we're looking at it. They're saying we're better than our record shows. And Jerry and Steven, I've been saying this, and I said they have a plan. We may not like the plan. I believe the Cowboys have targeted who they want. And all these players that we saw leave, they didn't want them. We're about to see who the Cowboys wanted, either late tonight or tomorrow. We're going to start hearing the Cowboys making some moves other than the long snapper. Sharon said the Bears signed Grady Jarrett. Yeah. And again, it looks like the Cowboys got their mindset. We're going to see what happens with the Jake Greenlaw thing. Again, I said it yesterday. I'm not going to be surprised if we hear Cooper Kupp or Tyler Lockett. Freddie says exactly what does it mean, says such and such player is him. Oh, when a player says he's him, meaning he means he's saying, Freddie, that he's that guy. That he is that guy. He can make it happen. He can get the job done. He is one of the best, if not the best. Dak Prescott thinks he's him. He does. And I would too. I'm the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. I've been 12-5 3 seasons in a row with even all the stuff that was going on. I've done it under multiple coaches, multiple coordinators. Did it with one wide receiver. Did it with no run game. Did it with a shoddy offensive line. Did it with a less than elite defense. Got cheated out of an MVP of the season. I'm telling you, Dak Prescott, I guarantee you he's very confident in himself. He's very confident in himself. I'm telling you. Man, Blue Star saw that, man. They was harassing him while he was out on vacation. Yes, sir. Those clowns make me sick. I cannot wait till Dak crushed them again. Boy, let me tell you. This lets you know how bad Dak has beat the Eagles up over the years. Boy, they can't stand that man. But you know what? I'll tell you this. The Eagles got respect for Dak Prescott, though. The Eagles got respect for Dak Prescott. The Eagles got more respect for Dak Prescott than some of their own fan base do. Because I've heard how their coaches talked about Dak Prescott. Darius Slay talked about Dak Prescott. And then to hear A.J. Brown talk about Dak Prescott recently. Because someone was trying to say that Dak Prescott and another quarterback were the same quarterback. It was Gilly the Kid. I can't remember the quarterback they were trying to compare Dak Prescott to. And A.J. Brown was like, no. He said, nah, man, Dak Prescott's good. Now, he probably wanted to go a little bit further. But, of course, being an Eagles fan, being an Eagles player, you got to be careful. Their fan base is nuts. This dude said it. He said, nah, man. He said Dak is good. He said he doesn't understand the playoff part. But he said it. Dak Prescott in the regular season, he'll destroy you. Yep, he said it. He said Dak in the regular season, he'll destroy you. He said, now, I don't know what happens in the playoffs, but Dak will destroy you. I'm telling you, this team does not think they are as bad as 7-10. Anthony Billings, he says, if Dak was healthy the whole year and Rico started from the beginning to the end, we would have been 12 games again. Man, let me tell you something, Anthony Billings. I got to agree with you from this perspective. Yes, had they ran the ball, I think it would have made them look different, and it would have made the play calling different. Mike McCarthy I'm telling you, I've been saying it all season. That stale as toast West Coast offense is terrible. Mike McCarthy has one of the worst, most generic versions of it. There are other teams that run the West Coast, but they run it with more wrinkles, more deception, more of a variety, more of a hybrid. Not Mike McCarthy. Man, he runs it as generic as it can be. Don't know be the best. And they're not going to sign Micah Parsons today. The reality is the Cowboys don't have to re-sign Micah Parsons today. The only place that they're hurting by not signing Micah Parsons is they keep allowing other edge rushers to get signed. It's only hurting them as in the price going up per se, but they already got him signed. Fifth-year option. All we're talking is an extension. Micah Parsons, the reality is this. Micah Parsons can't go anywhere. Not only do the Dallas Cowboys have a fifth-year option on him, they got 2 franchise tags in their pocket. Micah Parsons is going absolutely nowhere. Nowhere. He's not going anywhere. Donnie Rainey, the Joneses won't speak until Wednesday morning. Yeah, we're going to start hearing some things either late tonight, tomorrow, and for sure on Wednesday. Pure Gaming, the Eagles know Dak has beaten them multiple times. I'm telling you, man. Pure Gaming, what's going on? Yes, sir. They'll tell you how good Dak Prescott is. They've seen it up close and personal. And they know they've had some downright good teams. Even the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl before this one, Dak manhandled them. No doubt, he manhandled them. Straight up manhandled them. So the issue is, how do they get over that proverbial hump? Freddie says, so what are the Cowboys supposed to do when they're going to play a bad team? Lay down and let them beat them? I feel you, Freddie. You can only play who you play. Call Goodell and tell him, Mr. Goodell, could you please make our opponents? Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, you only can play who you play. Top Gunner said until further notice, he said, Lou Branch, exactly. He's not good when it counts the most. Well, I don't know if he was saying he's not good when it counts the most. I think one of the problems is, Lou Branch, and we won't have this discussion today, but Lou, the problem is this. This team has relied too much on Dak Prescott. That's the problem. They've relied too much on Dak Prescott. They got to get to the point to where they're not putting everything on do or die with Dak Prescott. I'm telling us how the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl, whether we want to accept it or not. They went to one Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts, and he was the whole team, and they lost. I've already made this. I could show you, but I won't. Go look at the box score of the Super Bowl before this one. Jalen Hurts, in the previous Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs, he was head and shoulders better than this one. Jalen Hurts was spectacular. But they also got 38 points scored on them. That's not how you win. You don't win Super Bowls by putting everything on your quarterback. That's not how you win. That's not how the championship teams win. The championship teams are good in the trenches. They control the defensive line, the offensive line. They can run the ball. The throwing doesn't have to be spectacular. It doesn't have to be prolific. It just needs to be efficient. That's all you need it to be. You need your defense to go in and make a statement. We try to put this all on the quarterback. No, your defense sets the tempo. It sets the tone of a game. When your defense comes out and punches a team in the face, Mike Tyson said everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. We've been the team that gets punched in the face. And our defense cannot make the statements that we need them to make. It's one thing to hold a team to 19 points. Do we not understand? I've been saying this and saying this. Do we not understand? The Philadelphia Eagles mauled the Kansas City Chiefs, and it started on defense. It didn't start on offense. It started on defense. That defense told Patrick Mahomes the moment they hit the field, not today, buddy. Philadelphia defense told Patrick Mahomes to his face, not today, buddy. You won't be standing back here today, patting the ball. Not today, buddy. We're not only going to have you on the run, we're going to sack you. We're going to turn you over. We're going to push you on the ground. We're going to stomp you in the face. We're going to do everything to you today, Patrick Mahomes. No, we're not just going to pressure you. We're going to sack you. And all that running around you do, you'll have nowhere to run. Not today, buddy. We got your number. Jalen Hurts throws an interception early in the game. Same thing he did in the first Super Bowl. You know what the defense said? Hold on, hold our coffee. Don't worry about it. They'll only get a field goal. But I bet you this, the only way they touch that end zone is on touchbacks. When you got a defense like that, did you see what is? Did you see? Compare Jalen Hurts' stats in this Super Bowl to the losing Super Bowl. It'll blow your mind. Jalen Hurts in that first Super Bowl was spectacular and should have won the MVP. He was incredible. Not in this one. Don't get me wrong. It's not that he didn't do good, but he wasn't incredible. No. He did exactly what we saw him do pretty much the whole season. Didn't throw for 200 yards. I said it and I've been saying it. I've been watching Jalen Hurts for a long time. Liked him in college. What did I tell people? No one believed me. Jalen Hurts, every so often, Jalen Hurts will throw 5 or 6 passes that make you go, whoa, did he throw that? Every so often he does this stuff. He'll show you. Now, if you ask me to do it game after game after game, I'm not going to do it. But if you ask me to do it in certain games, I can make throws that'll make your head spin. But if you look at what they really did, they put a team around Jalen Hurts to where they didn't put the weight of the world on his shoulder. That's how you win Super Bowls. That's how you win playoff games. That's how your quarterback shows up in the biggest moments. Your quarterback shows up in the biggest moments, and this is the biggest deception about quarterbacks, quote unquote, showing up in the biggest moments. Show me a quarterback showing up in the biggest moments. I'm going to show you a quarterback who's actually on a team who's creating moments. I'm going to show you a quarterback on a team that is making spectacular plays, whether it be on defense, whether it be on special teams, giving that offense short fields. I'm going to show you a team, a quarterback that has multiple weapons on offense. I'm going to show you a quarterback that the game plan is working so good that they're giving him easy throws, easy plays. That's how you win championships. Not doing what we do to Dak Prescott. Oh, it's Dak or bust. You better believe with the Cowboys, it's Dak or bust. They're going to shut our running game down. They're going to shut our one wide receiver down. We're going to make them one-dimensional, and our defense is not good enough to turn teams over in big games and in the playoffs like we've watched. Go back and look at some of these championship teams. You're going to see the same thing. Watch what I tell you. You're going to see teams controlling the line of scrimmage. You're going to see teams that can run the ball. And you're going to see teams, their defenses are going to make the other team commit multiple turnovers. Go watch the tape. I bet you're going to see the same thing. Doesn't mean you don't get the occasional shootout. Somebody can name a game and say, what about this game? Yeah, you're talking about the anomaly. I'm talking about the norm. Go look at Super Bowl winning teams, and you're going to find the same thing. Defense, offensive lines, turning a team over, getting after the quarterback, sacking him, abusing him, turning him over. You're going to see the same stuff. The reason why we think Jalen Hurts shows up in big moments is because the reality is the teams around him have been good enough to where he doesn't have as many as those as Dak Prescott has to have. It's Dak or nothing. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me since Dak Prescott has been here. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me it hasn't been Dak or nothing. Philadelphia was not Jalen Hurts or nothing. No. Saquon Barkley took on a huge part of that burden. That's what you do. And what the Cowboys have got to do going into this season, understand what all these other teams are doing. They're paying the quarterback and they're putting players around him. And they're not doing what we do, go top heavy. No, they're putting players all around their quarterback. And if you don't believe me, let me show you a trend. They're showing us right now, whether we realize it today. Y'all do know they're showing us this formula. Everybody is trying to follow suit with the formula that they saw from the Philadelphia Eagles, which is actually the formula that the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers perfected in the 90s. You put absolute super teams around your quarterback. That's how the 49ers and that's how the Dallas Cowboys dominated the 90s. And for some reason, we have not been able to emulate the pattern that we perfected during the free agency, because that was the peak of free agency, really the inception of when it really became crazy. Let me show you. There's a team that's doing it right now since our free agency has quieted down. Let me show you. I know what I'm talking about. Let me show you what one team in this division is doing in particular. Boy, you better feast your eyes on this team right here. And they're not done. Y'all might not realize it, but I'm telling you, what these doggone Washington Commanders is doing is absolutely scary. It's absolutely scary. Deebo Samuel, I'm not concerned. It's the least of our worries, but he's a weapon. Look at what they're doing. Solidifying the tight end position. They got their look at it. They went and got Javon Kinlaw. Brought back Bobby Wagner. Watch what they continue to do. They're not done. They're not done. They're going to continue to be active. And their draft, you watch what I tell you, it's loaded with weapons. They're going to put more around Jaden Daniels. They're building up. They're building up. Even they fell prey to, okay, you live by your quarterback, you die by your quarterback. You better go get him some weapons. Jaden Daniels was no match for the Philadelphia Eagles. None. A quarterback can't do it by himself. None. The lack of weapons reared its ugly head when they played the Philadelphia Eagles, because that's an elite team. That's a championship team. No, you better go get players around them, offensively and defensively. This team's going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem. And if you look at what these teams, they're all trying to do the same thing. They're trying to put players. They're trying to put players around the quarterback. And I'm telling you, just keep watching. The Raiders got better overnight. The Raiders got better overnight. KC better get ready. The Raiders got better overnight. I'm telling y'all, if you watch the Raiders last year, hey, their offense was atrocious, but the defense was pretty good. They got better overnight. Geno Smith makes them exponentially better. I'm not saying he makes them 13 wins better, but he makes them better overnight. They're not done. Y'all better recognize this draft is loaded with skill players. It's loaded. It's absolutely loaded. And I'm telling you, you watch the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs, they're going to start trying to recalibrate. This draft is loaded with skill players. It's loaded with skill players. But we got a team right in our division. The doggone Washington Commanders, boy, they're trying their best to get better. We got another team, the AFC is trying to do something similar. The Houston Texans. Just keep watching them. Boy, these boys are already good. Their defense was already the truth. They're going to continue to try to pull up. They went and got Christian Kirk. Got this Braxton Berrios 1-year deal. I'm telling us, these teams are trying to work the formula. They're trying to work the formula of you put players around your quarterback. You're going to see, again, the Buffalo Bills. They're going to keep trying to work this. They got extensions on these guys. They're not done. You watch what I tell you. This draft is loaded, and a lot of people know it. A lot of people know it. It's bad news for a lot of these wide receivers and running backs, because teams are going to try to load up, get those skill positions. They're going to try to fix their defenses, and they're going to try to beat the championship teams, which is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. But we're going to have problems with the Washington Commanders. I'm confident we can still compete and beat them, but we're going to have problems. We are. Laramie Tunsil just traded to the Commanders. You see what I'm telling you? You see what I'm telling you? Other teams don't think like us. We're the only team, every time you start talking about a team, we holler Dak Prescott. That's not what other teams are doing. Other teams are trying to put a team around their quarterback because they want to put him in less of these moments, as we call them, the big moments. How about we don't have them? Anybody ever thought about that? How about we don't have the big moments? How about we just go and beat the snot out of teams? Anybody ever thought of that concept? How about we just beat the brakes off a team? I mean, just go out there and stomp them. We don't worry about our quarterback having to, okay, if he don't do it, no one can. How about we just go out there and stomp teams? I mean, we just dominate them so bad defensively that even 20 points beats them. I'm telling y'all, I do not want to see no more of this. I know what Dak Prescott is. I already know Dak Prescott can put up points. I already know Dak Prescott can put up banana points. I already know this. Dak Prescott has nothing else to prove. I already know what he is. Let me help him on what he isn't. That's where I need to be working. That's where the Philadelphia Eagles worked. What is it? We know what he is. We know what Jalen Hurts is. But what isn't he? Let's go work on what he is not. You know what will help him in what he is not? Rather than us letting him be a feature back in the run game, how about we go get a feature back for the run game? There's a reason why Saquon Barkley is the highest paid running back in the league now. It's insane what they're paying him. I don't know. I think they're paying him for what he did rather than what he is going to do, because this league has a way of catching up with you. And I don't know if they're going to be able to get what they got out of Saquon Barkley again. But I tell you this, they've been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years? They're going to try to get back again. But you notice what these teams are doing. They're building around the quarterback. They're getting players so you don't have these moments. Think about how little of these moments the Philadelphia Eagles actually had this year. And in some of those moments, the quarterback wasn't even on the field. It was the defense on the field. Against the Rams, it was the defense on the field. Jalen Hurts didn't have to do anything at the last minute. I mean, Jalen Hurts looked pedestrian or less than against the Rams. But the defense rose to the occasion in the playoffs. And that's why the Eagles progressed. Not to mention Saquon Barkley put the cherry on the top, busting those runs. That wasn't Jalen Hurts. How about we get some other players and say, hey, right here, hey, it's 3rd and 3. Well, rather than letting Dak Prescott throw the ball on 3rd and 3, our running back and our offensive line is good enough that we can get this first down. Oh, no, we got a running back that if they give him one crease, he can hit his head on the door, or he can hit his head on the goalpost. Do we not understand? Saquon Barkley could have easily been the MVP of the league. We keep talking about in the biggest moments. No, Saquon Barkley took a lot of those biggest moments out of the hands of Jalen Hurts. Can we do that? Can we get a team that says it's not Dak or nothing? Oh, we only go as far as Dak take us. Can we get a team that actually doesn't say stuff like that? This is what the Cowboys have got to work on. And they're basically saying they were not doing it in free agency. Not with those players. Watch what I tell you. They'll play tomorrow. Y'all just stay patient. They're going to play tomorrow. I told everyone this. I'm not Nostradamus. But I'm telling us. I told us, be patient. I don't expect the Cowboys to do anything on day one. I think by the time this free agency is all said and done, they're going to extend Micah Parsons, and they're going to tell us that Micah Parsons is what they consider to be the big fish of the free agency season for them. They're going to tell you that. It was Micah Parsons and Oso Digizua. How do I know this? Because they said the same thing last year. They said last year it was CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. They're going to say this year it was Oso Digizua and Micah Parsons. And they're going to go to work. At least this is what I see them doing. They're going to go to work tomorrow. Now, again, I told you the Cowboys have a plan. You may not like who they get tomorrow, but they're going to get some players tomorrow. You watch what I tell you. You're right, Sharon. We need another wide receiver. And you said a good second receiver, like two good young running backs. They need to go get two in the draft. This is why I hope Najee Harris. I hope it's not true. Unless Najee Harris is going to play for the Cowboys for $2 or $3 million a year, I don't want to see him. If the Cowboys want veteran presence in the locker room, go get A.J. Dillon. And I know some people don't like it, but go get Nick Chubb. Go get a guy, someone's mentioned J.K. Dobbins. Go get a running back if you want veteran presence. Don't you dare pay more than $2 million for him. I'm not trying to be cheap. I'm just saying the draft, there's too many running backs. And running back, you can tell me about bust wide receivers all you want to. Running backs translate. They just translate. They do. Running backs translate. Don't get one, get two. Double up. Get you two of them. Get you a bona fide running back room. Y'all think about what we had in the running back room. Zeke, Rico, Deuce Vaughn. No, that is not a championship running back room. It's not a championship running back room. I want to see in this next running back room, I want to see forget about Genty. I want to see an Amarion Hampton. I want to see a Marcus Jones, a Bashul Tootin. I want to see the kid, what was his name? The Martinez kid from Miami. Yeah, I want to see him now in the running back room. I want to see Travion Henderson. I want to see two of the five and more of those running backs. I want to see two of them in the Dallas Cowboys running back room. With fill in the blank, A.J. Dillon. Y'all can fill in another running back, Dobbins, any of those guys. Because I'm telling you, a run game is going to change life for Dak Prescott. A run game is going to change life for him. Unequivocally going to change life, for sure. Top Gunner, no more excuses. It's 30 years. Phone isn't working. Now, let's think about this, Top Gunner. We haven't seen what they're going to do in the second day. They haven't been doing, what they're doing today, they've been doing. But what they're going to do in the second day, I don't believe they have been doing, because I think they're going to play in the second day. Either change the way you do business or risk being stuck in the basement with the Giants until further notice. Again, day two. Let's give them day two. I didn't expect anything in day one. Day two was the day. Day two is the day. And that's when, and even then I'm not going to be worried. But day two is what we're going to be looking for. Calvin Jefferson, you make a good point. He said, I'm glad these other teams except the Eagles, the Shingles are getting these free agents. You're right. You're right. Now, we got the doggone Washington Commanders. They're going to be a problem. They are. The Commanders are going to be a problem. I think we can handle up on them, but they're going to be a problem. You trust me. Chad Wilson, I don't care what they do in free agency at this point. Give me T. McMillan. Yes, sir. He may be there too. Don't worry, Chad. They're going to do something. They're just not doing it today. They're just not. I told us, man, just temper our expectations. They're just not going to do this stuff in day one. I'm not shocked. Yes, sir. Yep. Except them doggone Skins. Man, them boys are going to work, man. They're going to work. They went to work last year. We handled up on them, though. D-Block, I just said it. Them doggone Commanders are loading up. They're loading up. They are. But again, I just think the Cowboys think they're better than them. And I think the Cowboys believe after they come out of the draft, they're going to be superb. But again, y'all remember also what I told you. You're going to have to enjoy the 2025 season. We will get back competitive, but it's not the season you need to circle on your calendar. Tomorrow's not promised. Pray to God we all see it. This is not the season you need to circle. The season you need to circle is 2026. I want all of us to consider this. I want all of us to consider this. The 90s Cowboys. I want us to consider this part right here. When the Cowboys got ready to start winning Super Bowls, there was a point to where we saw, okay, they got the team together finally. They got the team solidified. And it was the next season that they took off. 91 is when the Cowboys, 90 and 91 is when they got the team recalibrated. It was 92 when they took off. Get ready for a type of 91 season for the Cowboys. Get ready for that type of season. The Cowboys are going to get back to the playoffs again. I just believe that 100%. They get back to the playoffs this year. It's next year, 2026. That's when they will have the team field. All these deals they're going to do, they'll be 2-3 year deals. The team will be solidified. The roster will be filled. Then in the next draft, you watch what they do. BPA. That's all they're going to do the next draft. BPA. Also, the next free agency. They will be able to go in that free agency and say, can we find maybe one player? 2026 will be the run. You watch what I tell you. 2026 is going to be the run. So be patient. They're building towards something. We're going to have to give these coaches, let's understand, the coaching staff is great. We're going to have to give them time to gel. We're going to have to give them time to gel with the players. We're going to have to give all of this time to develop. So again, this is a recalibration year. The Cowboys are going to be better than last year. Book it. They're going to be better than last year. They'll get back to the playoffs. That should kind of hold us. Might even win a playoff game. Maybe two, but I think they'll win a playoff game even. It'll be the next year. That's when they're going to get us. That's when they're going to make the run. Delta Root said if Dallas was in the AFC East or any of the AFC divisions, playoffs every year. A lot of those AFC teams eat like that. The Patriots did it for years. D Block, can they play well as a collective team? This is what they have to work on because that's what got them the Super Bowl this time. Go back. I'm telling you, I challenge you. Go look at that Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts carried them on that last Super Bowl. The rest of the team was on his back. That's why they lost the game. This Super Bowl was different. Jalen Hurts just did his part. They didn't really ask him to do anything out of the ordinary. We watched Jalen Hurts do what Jalen Hurts does. And the numbers were nowhere near like the previous Super Bowl they lost. You look at those numbers, you'd have been like, oh, wow. Okay, this is like a regular Jalen Hurts game. The issue was the defense. It wasn't a regular defensive game. Them boys beat the brakes off Patrick Mahomes in that offense. They got to get better as a team. And this is what we're going to watch this year. We're going to watch the coming together of a team. We're going to watch Brian Schottenheimer get his system work through every part of the Dallas Cowboys. And then next year, 2026, we're going to see how much better it's going to look in 2025. I think they're going to get the chip in 2026. And if they don't get it, then they'll get close. And in 2027, they'll get it. I promise you. And it's not like I can see the future. I can't promise you. But I do believe the Cowboys get the chip in 2026, no later than 27. Clarence Terry said they made him play quarterback and Patrick couldn't stand the pressure. Boy, they beat, yes, sir. They beat Patrick Mahomes up. They pressured him. They sacked him. They stripped him. Turned him over. Beat him up. Threw him on the ground. Boy, whew. Boy, what they did to Patrick Mahomes need to be studied. It does. D-Block, they had luck on their side. They got hot at the end, though. Delta Roots, I've already said this before. What did I tell y'all about Super Bowls? It's a battle of attrition. You need coaching. You need a team. You need health. And you need luck. You need all four. All four. Luck is a part of it. And we may not realize it. We were a part of the luck. Dak Prescott being hurt assured the Philadelphia Eagles they were going to beat us 2 times. You don't think getting 2 division wins helped them in their quest? You need luck. You need other teams to be injured. You need luck. If the Detroit Lions defense don't get decimated, we're having a different conversation, I believe. The Detroit Lions were killing teams. I don't think with the Detroit Lions healthy, I don't think no team in the NFC could have dealt with them. But once they started going down with injuries, they got weaker by the week. And Jared Goff betrayed them. Jared Goff betrayed him. He had a lot of unforced errors. Not only did he betray him, but also OC started doing some dumb stuff. What was that the wide receiver sweep pass? I mean, that was crazy. Ben did this stuff great the whole year. Jared Goff would get a little erratic. He would calm him down by going to the run game. He didn't go back to the run game. What happened? So many things happened in that game. But at the end of the day, of course, I've told you before, luck is a part of it. Go check any of these teams in every sport when they go on these runs. Go look at some of the luck that happens. Just go look. It'll blow your mind that there were teams that people thought that were going to compete with a certain team, and then the star player goes down. It changes the entire game. It does. It changes the entire game. You don't have to look at them the same no more. They become easier. You need so many things. The Eagles had all those things, all of them. But one of the things they did, and we got to give them credit for it, they built a great team. Now, we're going to see what happens this year. I think it's going to be different for them this year. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be healthy. They're not going to get that luck again. The Washington Commanders will be better. They're not going to have the advantage of having a superior team to the Commanders. And I don't think they're going to have a superior team necessarily to us once we're done with this free agency and the draft. Y'all just watch what I'm telling you. We're going to be better than we think. I know a lot of us don't see it. Trust me, we're going to be better than we think. And again, don't get discouraged. We never thought, at least I was telling you, we were not playing on day one, guys. we were not playing on day one. We were not playing on day one. Even though they are trying to play on day one. Because now it makes me believe. I told you, the Cowboys already got their players targeted. It tells me the one player they targeted is Greenlaw. That's who they targeted. Now, I'm sure we'll hear later on their name come up in some other discussions. But no, Greenlaw is a target. And the reason why we know Greenlaw is a target is it's still being talked about that the Cowboys are trying to get Greenlaw. They're one of the teams that's trying to get Greenlaw. He is an absolute target. Day two, again, names that I expect to hear from the Cowboys. I expect to hear maybe a conversation about Tyler Lockett. I also expect to hear a conversation about Jonathan Allen. Okay, I was just looking and seeing if there's any updates. Well, I'm telling you, boy, the Commanders are not playing, man. Woo! The Commanders are not playing. But again, you think about why they got Laramie Tunsil. You got to have a way to stop that Philadelphia Eagle pass rush. You better find a way to stop it. You better find a way to stop the Rams pass rush. You better find a way to stop the Texans pass rush. Yeah, the Rams, the Texans, and the Eagles. You got to get offensive linemen. You do. Your left tackle play better be crazy because I'm telling you, them boys coming for you. But again, I'm telling this man, this thing with the way they, this thing so far, I'm just telling y'all, we didn't really expect, at least I did not expect them to be doing anything day one. But also, they targeted Greenlaw. It's obvious. They've targeted Greenlaw. They want to sign him. Issue is we just haven't signed him. because now we got other teams in the chat trying to sign Greenlaw. And now it's going to be, and I'm not going to say it's going to be a tough sign, but it's going to be a tough sign from this perspective because some of these teams want to throw around more money than we do. Dana Jet, just wait and see. Freddie says, the Angels won't remember in 2011 when the Eagles went on a free agent signing spree. How did that work out for them? Hey, Freddie, you know what a lot of people don't realize is that this thing with the Eagles, though, it has not been a one-year thing the Eagles have been doing. The Eagles have actually been on like a 5-year building process. This has actually been a 5-year process that's coming to fruition for the Eagles. They are in the process of doing exactly, and y'all tell me, just think about this. It looks similar to what the 49ers did. The 49ers went through about a 5-year process. They went through a 5-year process of acquiring players in the draft, big-time free agents, and it got them to what? 2 Super Bowls. Could have got them to 3. It got them to 2 Super Bowls. And they lost in those Super Bowls. And now we're watching them go back through now, and they're like recalibrating. They're letting go of players, and they're kind of haggling with Brock Purdy. They're basically telling Brock Purdy, we're not going to give you the big money. But you even think about what the 49ers did. The 49ers go to the Super Bowl. They give Christian McCaffrey this huge extension. Now he's got bad Achilles. And now they're like trying to redo it again. So it may take them another couple of years. The Philadelphia Eagles look similar to what the San Francisco 49ers did. The only difference is they went and got the running back like Saquon. You think about Saquon versus Christian McCaffrey. The difference is the defense, I think, is a lot more ferocious the Eagles have versus what the 49ers have had. And then when you look at the quarterback, when you look at Jalen Hurts versus what, and this is what Shanahan has wanted, a more dependable quarterback. And when you look at Jalen Hurts, he's an extension of the run game. And he makes a team like Philly who can run the ball, makes them even more dangerous. He's not even throwing 20 passes a game in these games they're winning. But the run game was so dominant, their defense was so dominant that they were able to beat teams in ways that other teams couldn't. This hasn't been an overnight process for the Eagles. And we're probably about to see the end of the process for the Eagles, and they're going to have to start kind of resetting again probably in another 2 years. But they got this thing set as far as they go. They got it set for at least a year. They do. Chanel, I agree with you. One and done. In Dak's situation, the playoff outlines the major areas of one's team so the defense can stop your offense by doubling doubling CD, and you have no run game. That's it. The Dak Prescott failure, Chanel, and let me sum up exactly what I believe you're saying. The Dak Prescott failures are actually not Dak Prescott failures. The Dak Prescott failures in the playoffs are the exposing of the deficiencies the team already had. That's all it is. You put a dominant player on a good to great team, and especially a great team and a dominant team, they're dominant. Because they're in less of those situations to where it's all on them. No, they're actually just doing their part. They're not having to play outside of themselves and say, this is the do or die throw. That interception, the game is over. They're not having those moments. I'm telling us we don't realize it. Jalen Hurts got accused of losing the game for the Philadelphia Eagles for throwing an interception early. I think it was in the second quarter of the first Super Bowl, but he threw an interception early in the game. And people said, that's the interception that cost him the game. Did we notice what happened this time? He threw an interception early in this game. Got nullified, didn't it? You want to know why I got nullified? Because the defense this time was so good, rather than giving up 31 points, the defense is saying, we're not giving up a touchdown. The only way we give up a touchdown is that our backups are in. But on the starters, we will not give up a touchdown. It looks different when you got a team like that. It looks different, Chanel, when you don't have deficiencies. It looks different, Chanel, when your quarterback makes a mistake on a team that is all-time great. It looks different. It looks different when your running back who's been running 200-yard games. It looks different when he runs for 27 times. Yes, he only gets 57 yards, but the only reason why he gets 57 yards is that the Philadelphia Eagles committed to running the ball 27 times, even when they were stopping him. Most teams say if you stop us in the first quarter, second quarter, we abandon the run. Kellen Moore and the Philadelphia Eagles said, no, you said you're going to stop the run. We're going to make it an all-day job. That's what Philly said. We're going to make it an all-day job for you. Oh, you think we're going to stop running because Saquon Barkley don't have no yards? No, you better stay ready. You better stay ready. We're going to keep running the ball. Why? Because you're going to have to commit. You're going to have to keep committing to stopping the run, and our play action is going to continue to work. A lot of people talk about the pass. I was looking at it today. The pass that Jalen Hurts throws on that play action, and Devontae Smith is just running like, I guess it looks like a seam route maybe, but he's like running that seam route down the field. And it was a beautiful pass. I don't want to say underthrown, but he could have got it out there further because Devontae Smith had to slow down a little bit for it, and the defender was able to catch up to it. And if Devontae Smith was not such a good wide receiver, Devontae Smith, that little small dude is a monster. He a dog. The defender actually gets his hand almost simultaneously the moment that ball dropped in, but Devontae Smith, strong hands, he couldn't strip it out. Jalen Hurts probably should have got that out a little bit further. It would have looked even better. That's not knocking Jalen Hurts. I'm just telling you what happens when your run game is so scary that even if it's not working, it's still working. The Cowboys were like this in the 90s. Someone had brought up in the first Super Bowl in 92, I think the Cowboys beat the Buffalo Bills. I had to go back and look at it, something like 52-17. It was Troy Aikman's best statistical Super Bowl. After that, he went back to looking pretty much how he looked all during the other winning seasons. And what I mean by that is Troy Aikman never really put up big numbers. And a lot of people don't understand that. And it wasn't because Troy Aikman wasn't good. It was because they had a great team around him. And it was not required. A lot of people don't understand. Troy Aikman wasn't required to be in these big moment games. They just didn't have a lot of them. They just didn't have a lot of them. Cowboys in 92, 93 were beating the snot out of teams. Period. In the story. They were running all over teams. And even in the Super Bowl when Emmitt Smith, I don't even think he had 50 yards rushing that game. But then if you go back and look at him in the receiving game, and if you look at him in the short yardage game, man, he killed the Buffalo Bills on the ground with touchdowns. He got 2 touchdowns on the ground. Man, when you got a run game that won't stop, that run game won't stop. And even if it gets 50 yards, that run game is still going to be effective. And the Philadelphia Eagles, a lot of people, oh, he didn't even run that good. You crazy. He ran great. When you run the ball 27 times and get 57 yards against a team who has downright said, we're stopping the run, and you would think, man, that team crazy. Why'd they keep running? Look at the score. They were still controlling the line of scrimmage. They were still controlling the time of possession for the most part. They were controlling the flow of the game, even with Saquon Barkley getting stopped. Dak Prescott, the Cowboys, they don't have that. They don't have it. They haven't had it in the combination. They've had pieces of it. But the Eagles had what the Cowboys have had pieces of during Dak Prescott's run. The Eagles had it all on one team. Run game, offensive line, 2 wide receivers, great tight end, defensive line, linebacker play, safety play, cornerbacks, pretty good. But they had it all on one team. Pass rush, pressure, sacks, strip sacks, turnovers, man, it was the perfect storm. It looked like a 90s Cowboys, a 90s San Francisco team. Man, it's hard to get all that on a team. It is. It's hard to catch all that on a team. And number two, even with everything we're saying about the Eagles, y'all tell me, I still wonder if the Detroit Lions are healthy. I don't think the Eagles are better than them pound for pound healthy. Not in 2024. I don't think the Eagles were better than the Detroit Lions pound for pound. Not healthy. The Detroit Lions were a juggernaut. And then they got decimated with injuries. But again, the Cowboys have got to do, this is what they got to achieve. But I'm telling y'all, the Cowboys don't think they're far off on having a great team as we think they are. And this is one of the reasons why they're not trying to play. They're not trying to pay big money in free agency. 70s fan, what's going on? Man, I've been trying to tell folks, I would love to have Calais Campbell. Everybody keeps waiting on this man to drop off a cliff. He hasn't dropped. He would be a good rotational player. I'd love to have him. Anthony says, so are getting ready to lose Rico to the Raiders. Man, they can have him. For a $100 million contract? Wow. Hey, man, they can have him. They can have Rico Dowdle. That's crazy. Blue Star said it's like folks have different expectations for the Dallas Cowboys, a.k.a. Dak Prescott, while everybody else is okay with their teams building around their quarterback. But if Dallas does it, it's wrong. He's trash. Yeah, exactly. Everybody's doing it, Blue Star. The Eagles figured it out the first time they went to the Super Bowl. If we live by the quarterback, we're going to die by the quarterback. The Washington Commanders, they lived by the quarterback. They died by the quarterback. The Philadelphia Eagles, does anybody not realize it? Not this year. The Philadelphia Eagles said, we're not living by the quarterback. We're going to get a downright dominant running back, and we're going to get a dominant defense. And we're not going to live and die by one player. We're going to live and die as a team. That's how you win championships, man. You live and die as teams. I'm talking all the way from the ownership down to the water boy, water girl. You die as a team. It's amazing to me what we've done as a Dallas Cowboy franchise. Not only do we live and die on Dak Prescott, we'll literally try to kill him every time we lose a playoff game. We'll never look in there and bring up what Chanel brought up about Michael Parsons. 1 sack in 4 playoff games. No one will go back and do and say what Chanel said. Nobody will go back and look at how the defense played in those games. Nobody will go back and look at the lack of turnovers, lack of sacks, the lack of just big plays our defense failed to make, or how teams schemed against us and said we couldn't stop the run, so they ran all over us. Or our team schemed against us and said you only have one legitimate wide receiver. And even when we had Amari Cooper, go back and look in the playoff games with Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. Somebody got to explain to me and understand CeeDee Lamb wasn't the CeeDee Lamb we're watching today. Somebody's got to explain to me how were those teams shutting down Ezekiel Elliott? How were they doing it? Go back and look at the coaching on those teams versus other teams. You'll see a lot of deficiencies. You'll see where we got out-coached. We've gotten out-coached, y'all. I'm telling you. We have gotten out-coached a lot. 70s fan. Chase Young. This has probably been one of his downfalls. Chase Young doesn't take care of his body. Problem is, too, he's a mercenary. He keeps getting these big paydays. He keeps getting these big paydays for going on these one-year deals with these teams, and he's gotten another big payday. Oh, he hasn't got one this year, but he keeps getting these one-year deals. Cowboys bring Chase Young in to see if maybe they could get him on a cheaper deal. All right, that's my bad. I saw. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. All right, I'm listening to my AirPods in one ear. And when I put my AirPods in, it automatically connected to the Mac. And the sound is coming through the Mac, which I'm still surprised you didn't hear anything. But that's what it is. Miss Magic said I'll have to repeat everything. Hey, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I got the sound back working. That was my bad. That was my AirPod that connected to the Mac. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a break because all the major players are gone. I'm going to take a break, and then I'll be back again. Like I said, it's 4:04. I'll be back at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Yeah, that's my bad, Miss Matrix. It was the fact that I put my AirPod in. All right, guys. I'm going to be back. I'm going to take a break. I've been on about 3 hours, almost 4. I'm going to take a break, go in here, drink me some water, eat me a snack. I will be back at 6 p.m., and we'll see if anything else has broke. So, again, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Mark that time down. We'll be back at 6 p.m. We're going to try to give you all we can on this lack of free agent frenzy for the Dallas Cowboys on day one, but a free agency frenzy for everyone else. Y'all hit that like button on the way out. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't. And until 6 p.m., I'll see you later, Cowboy fans, where we talk facts. Peace.